Hello. Ah, finally. Internet was acting weird. And OBS was acting weird. Okay. Bit of a late start. At M, Scandy, hello. Hopefully the stream is working. So yeah, today I thought about doing, I'm scheduled to do that pizza game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it just as like a nice laid back game. Just make the pizza. I don't have to worry about dying in Mass Effect. I just make pizza. Maybe in a similar vein to the trading card store, will be a pizza shop on the Citadel. We know they have it because in Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC, there is Pizza Volus, who delivers a pizza to James. So we know it exists. And we know other species know what a pizza is. I thought about doing it today instead. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do some Mass Effect 2 today, and then I'm going to switch to something else for like the last 2 hours maybe. I'm not sure what. I'm split between two things. Maybe I'll do both. Sometimes I get a little too OCD when it comes to like stuff that's scheduled or stuff I mean to do, and maybe I'll just do both. They're both set up to work, I think. So it could be fun. I might as well mention it. It's not like it's a secret. Ooh, it's a secret I can't tell you. Hey, Ninja. One of them is I recently rediscovered a thing online that I've forgotten about. And there's this thing online you can do. It's a browser-based thing where basically it's called Guess That Game, where it gives you like screenshots of games and you have to guess what the game is. Simple premise. I've already done a little bit of it. I did some of it like years ago. When it like first became a thing. And I have obviously forgotten that. I did a little bit yesterday. I'll just skip those. Or even if I probably wouldn't remember them anyway. The best thing about having a bad memory. It's like I can redo those kind of things over and over again, given enough time in between. And the other thing is, I did show yesterday that Mass Effect mod in Stellaris. I actually discovered something. Two things. One, it is possible to offset the naval capacity kind of glitch in it, which might make it playable. And there's also one more thing you can do. There's a sandbox mode. The reason why the regular like canon map mode of Mass Effect, where it starts like near the beginning of Mass Effect 1, the reason why it's broken is because you start with like no research is done, but all the races, especially the more like the more advanced ones, start with more ships. And the problem is your naval capacity is only 20 to start, but you start with like 140 in ships. And that completely destroys your economy. Going over your naval capacity by that much makes you lose like 200 energy a month, which is impossible to deal with early in the game, considering you usually start making like 30. I found a research console command I can do to add a bunch of researches to up my naval capacity to start. It isn't perfect. I can't up it high enough, and I'm still losing energy. However, I discovered a sandbox mode. Is it great for Mass Effect roleplay? No, because everyone starts like Stellaris. You start with one planet, which means System Alliance starts on Earth. The Turians, Palaven. The Asari, Thessia. The Solarians, who cares? And then I almost said Kashyyyk. Like they're not Wookiees. I think is it Surkesh or is that Batarians? Surkesh kind of sounds Solarian. I don't know. Who cares? Solarian planet. So really, it doesn't work with the Mass Effect storyline because obviously, it'd be weird that humanity starts on Earth at the same time Asari only start on Thessia. But it's a good way to learn how to play the game. One, it gets rid of the glitches that we have because you don't have to worry about the naval capacity glitch. It just starts like a regular regular Stellaris game. Plus, that Stellaris mod gives you extra resources that don't exist in Stellaris. Like heavy metals, light metals, heavy alloys, light alloys, uranium, EZO. And the sandbox mode would be a great way to learn how to do those. So I might actually do like a hour or two in that tonight in the sandbox mode. Kind of just to get used to the game. We could consider it kind of a what-if scenario. Like, what if all the species in this cycle somehow started at the exact same time, technology-wise? Like, all of them were given Mass Effect technology and the relays all at the same time. Which almost kind of sounds like a test like the Protheans would have done, or even the Reapers. Let's see what happens if all the advanced civilizations of this cycle get Mass Effect technology at the same exact time, which lets them out of their home system. Could be fun. Plus, in that game, the Systems Alliance is perfect for that, because a lot of their bonuses are to colony growth and cost. So that'll be good. Sucks for the Asari, because they're built to not expand. So, sorry. It's going to be funny when I get over there and I find the Asari are like I find out the Asari are like a vassal to the Vorcha or something. Or like maybe the L-Core gets super powerful. What if the L-Core becomes super powerful? They're pacifists, so they can't like do a bunch of damage, but oh, you got Embrace Eternity. Yay. Yeah, I have the fishing thing going. You can fish up to 5 times a stream. There is a leaderboard. So yeah, that's a thing. All right. So yeah, let's do some Mass Effect 2, and then I think I'm going to switch to Stellaris with the Mass Effect mod and just test some stuff in the sandbox mode. Just for fun. And I might do that guess that game too a little bit. I'm obviously going to try it on my own, but when I get to the last picture and I don't know it, I will obviously like look at chat and be like, hey, anyone know? Because some of them are hard. You'll get a first image of like a pixel. Awesome. I know what game that is. It's like if you took Mass Effect 2 and went over here and did this. How do I... Hey, what game is this? Any guesses? I'm not kidding. There are puzzles. It's like per day. There are days where the first screenshot of a game is just this. And you have to know from this texture and from whatever that says that this is Mass Effect 2. So, good luck with that. Or it's like a blade of grass on the ground. All right. I figured we would start today, the contest today, by being dumb. And when I say being dumb, I mean doing Grunt's loyalty mission, so I can immediately fight a Thresher Maul on foot. What better way to ease into today's stream on Insane than to just fight a Thresher Maul on foot? Sounds good. Also, Mist, hello. I don't think I said hello. Actually, one thing I need to do, I need to scan for materials. I know that's kind of boring, but I need all of them, actually. Now, I have one defensive upgrade I can do, but I don't have the resources for it. I forget what I need. I think it's palladium, but I'm not sure.
Probe launched.
Oh, Mist is fishing. What's Mist gonna get?
Launching probe.
Maybe something besides a common for once? Get a lot of commons. It's a common. Oh. I forgot I put those in there. That's Worker 8 in my Final Fantasy Tactics playthrough with a Moogle hat on. I forgot about that. You know, if I was able to, like, actually do sprite work, there actually is a a program you can use for Final Fantasy Tactics, specifically Final Fantasy Tactics. There's a big community built around like modding that game. I think it's like the site's literally called like Final Fantasy Hactics, I think. And there's ways to replace sprites. If you actually know how to make your own sprites, or at least like convert a sprite to something else, you can actually replace the sprites, the different directions of sprites as well, like different like animations for it. You can replace them for each class and each character. So you could actually make a custom team. Like if I actually knew how to do it, I could have made like the main character of the game, Ramza, be Commander Shepard. I just don't have the artistic skills for it. The best thing I could do was find a picture of that Final Fantasy XIV Moogle hat that I bought, and then shrink it, and then put it on top of the sprites. That's about the extent of my knowledge of artistic stuff. I literally just take a picture of something and cut it out and put it on something else. That's all I could do. At the very least, I own the hat. So, like, I use the picture off of, like, the official store. It's like, oh, copyrighted picture. Like, no, I own the hat. I could have taken a picture of the hat myself. And just, like, put it on there. It was easier just to get a picture from the store. Because my camera on my phone sucks. It's just like the Mass Effect plushies. Which I need to add to the Stream Deck. I got the picture off the site, or I bought them. But I also own them, so I literally could take a picture of them in front of a green screen whenever I want. But again, camera sucks, so it was easier just to use the pictures from the site that I bought them. Also, just like Potato Shepherd. Here, I'll do a free Potato Shepherd. Just to show it off. You see, there's the picture of a helmet on a potato, and an obvious plastic Omniblade. I took both those pictures from the BioWare store, but I also own both of those. The helmet came from the special edition of this game, and the plastic glowing Omni tool came from the BioWare store that I bought. So again, rather than have to take the picture on a green screen with my crappy camera, I just use the picture from the store I bought it from. I think that's fair. Oh. You know, it makes sense the planets in the Krogan system are rich with resources because they're Krogan. When the Krogan were able to get past their own system with the help of the Solarians probably just gave them resources. And since the Krogan were a bunch of conquerors after that, why would they bother mining their own planets in their system? They skipped that. They went straight from stuck on their own planet in nuclear winter to space. So they skipped having to take stuff from their own planets in their system. So, good little addition that actually makes sense. Oh man, scanning stuff sure is fun. I'm kind of glad this isn't in 3. And then Andromeda took the difference between 1 and 2, where you have to use the Nomad to like find veins of materials. I kind of don't like it though. It's fine. I'd rather go back to Mass Effect 1, where you're just in the Mako exploring planets and you find areas that you could put like mines on to get more materials over time. That'd be fun. Like in Astroneer. In Astroneer, if you put I forget what they're called, auto excavators on certain areas, you can actually mine the resource on it instead of doing it yourself. It's slower, but you also get more out of it because it's like more efficient. I like that game. I need to go back and play it again. I only have 4 probes. Let me go fix that. Also, that planet sucks. Where is the final planet? There it is. But yeah, Astroneer is a lot of fun. The only knock I have on it is its art style. It's not bad. I just wish it was more realistic. Like a game that has Astroneer's mechanics in like a No Man's Sky realistic world would be really cool. But it is kind of a nice change of pace. It's very cartoony. And the game is fun. You can do some dumb stuff in that game. I have 2 new favorite things I discovered to do in my last playthrough of Astroneer that I did. I was still on Xbox playing with somebody. First thing I did was I strapped the rocket booster that you put on the rocket to go to different planets in the system. I put 2 of them on a car. Because everything in the game is modular. I slapped 2 of them on a car, and we turned it into a rocket car. Which was cool at first, but the fuel goes very quickly. It doesn't last very long. So what I did was I took 2 canisters of fuel and then put 2 auto arms. Or I think it was just one. I could only fit one. And the auto arm pulls canisters of fuel from the canisters and puts them on the thrusters when it runs out. And then I made a ramp. I literally went to a different planet in the system with a car. It was fun. The other thing I did was I kind of broke the game. I made a giant pit on a planet that I didn't like because it always tried to kill me. And I filled it full of rocket fuel canisters and like hydrogen canisters and methane canisters. A lot of them. And then I lit some TNT. It's made a very large explosion. I need to get more stuff. I really don't want to do Firewalker. I'll save that for some other time. It's honestly less deadly than some of the other missions. I just don't want to do it right now. Oh, here's a system I haven't even been to yet. Let's go here. But I still say my perfect sci-fi game would be Mass Effect 1, basically, or just a new Mass Effect game. Bring the Mako back and make it like No Man's Sky, where you can take like a shuttle maybe, and you can go to any planet you want and just land on it, and then just drive around. Explore. Even if they put resource gathering from Andromeda back in. To like craft with.
Probe launched.
I love No Man's Sky's system of just being able to explore. You get into your ship, you leave a planet, you go to any other planet in the system, and you can just land there and explore the planet. Is there much there? More than the Mass Effect planets, probably. But it's just fun.
Probe launched.
Some planets are cold, some are hot, some are just like barren wastelands that have no atmosphere. So you just land there and it's like you're walking on the moon, kind of. And then you collect resources like Minecraft. It's actually it's really fun. The main problem I have with No Man's Sky right now is since I'm trying to jump back into it after years of not playing it. There's so much stuff they've added to No Man's Sky. It's hard to just start again. It's kind of like playing Destiny. or Final Fantasy 14 or anything like that, where you haven't played it in years and they've added like 5 expansions and a bunch of other new stuff and you don't even know where to start. It's a little overwhelming. SWTOR. Like, say what you want about a game that comes out that has barely any end-game content, like Destiny. At least it got you used to the starting stuff for a while. And then when they introduced new stuff, it was like, oh, here's something new. Let me do that. Stellaris is kind of the same way. I have all the Stellaris DLC. I can't imagine playing Stellaris for the very first time and having access to all the DLC. It would... There's a lot. I actually started playing Stellaris on console, which was like the dumbed down version of Stellaris. So it was kind of the easiest way to start. And anyone who wants to play Stellaris or has and thinks they're terrible at it, don't worry, I am too. I've played Stellaris for like 7 years. I still suck at it. I just enjoy it.
Probe away.
It's like XCOM or other tactics type games. I'm not very good at them, but I still enjoy playing them.
Probe launched.
The only tactics kind of game that I am passable in is Final Fantasy Tactics. Probably.
Probe away.
Just because I know the system better. And you know what? I'll give myself some credit. I think I'm passable in XCOM most of the time. I still do dumb stuff. That is kind of my main weakness to those kind of games, like a Fire Emblem kind of game. I might be okay at it, but then I will do the dumbest thing. I will make the dumbest move possible, and even afterwards I'm like, why did I do that? Like when I streamed XCOM one time and had like community members on the team, Jay was like the only medic for a while, and for some reason, whenever I went to move my team forward, I always put him in the front, and I don't know why. I would realize, like, wait a minute, he's my only medic, and I just put him on the front line to get shot. What am I doing? And I kept doing it. I think it's because supports in that game have more movement speed. And because I saw that, I was like, oh, I'll move up further. You wish you had a game you wanted to play? Stellaris.
Anomaly detected.
No, so I think Stellaris is only on... It's on PC, obviously. But I think it's also only on Xbox. I don't think it's on PlayStation. I'm almost positive it's not on Switch.
Scans have found
I can't... Oh, man, I can't imagine playing Stellaris on Switch. It would just melt the system. And if you try to play in handheld mode, you would just not be able to see anything. Can I... There we go. Okay, the first mission today is this, whatever this is. I was going to make it the Thresher Mall, but this is fine too. Alright, first mission of the day. Let's see how I get killed. You have it on wait, what console do you have it on? Is it on Switch? Or is it on PlayStation? I can't imagine it being on Switch. That'd be like playing Stellaris, the PC version, on the Steam Deck. I just can't see it working. Because the screen is just too small. PS5. Okay, that makes sense. Honestly, learning the console game of Stellaris is, again, the easiest route to go. It is behind several updates. But it's also dumbed down. And if you don't have the DLC, it's even more dumbed down. It's a decent way to learn, like, basic stuff. But don't you play on TV? Yeah, you play on a TV far away. I can see why that would be not fun. Do you guys have your Tempest out? Yes, you do. But yeah, Stellaris is one of those games that has a very small UI. It has to. For how much information is on the screen, it has to. But yeah. I can't do that anymore. I don't play on TV anymore. I have a TV in this room. I only ever used it when I was on the treadmill, which I haven't used in like 2 years. The monitor that's in front of me is a 32-inch monitor, and I'm only about 3 feet away from it, if that. So when I play Stellaris, I can actually see. How did you get over here? Okay.
Enemies in front.
How did you... Where did you... We're just not going to ask questions, I guess. My teammates are teleporting.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, not... Yeah, Stardew Valley I can see being a game that you want in your face. It's a lot of small stuff. That's a game that I have on a very short list of games I should like that I don't. I have tried to play Stardew Valley so many times. And I don't know why. I can't get into it. I completely missed that.
Got it. Understood.
It's overkill. And that's why Squad Cryo is great, especially against Husks. Once their armor is down, they just get frozen and die. But yeah, if I had to think of those kind of games, the ones that I should like but I just don't, Cyberpunk is near the top. I've heard that game is great now. I've heard from so many people who play it that I would love it, considering I like what I like. Every time I play it for like the first hour or two and never go back to that save file. I played it recently, stopped in the same place. I do the very first story mission, and then a handful of side quests in that starting area, and that's it. That's all I've seen. I have got to play that game further in. Money. Stardew Valley's on there. What else is on there? BioShock. I've tried to play BioShock a few times. The first one, I just can't get into it. Which is weird.
We've got company. Gotcha.
See, I take care of their armor, and my teammates just blast them with cold bullets.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a lot. Don't mind me. Ow, jerk. Ooh, ammo's becoming a problem. Oh, there are 2 games besides Veilguard. I'm not going to count Veilguard. It comes out like in a week. I'm not going to get it when it comes out. I'll get it eventually. There are 2 games on Steam right now that I just stare at. I want to get them, but I know I don't want to spend the money on it right now. There's the new Dragon Ball Z game, which, by the way, I looked up some stuff. Not only does that Dragon Ball game, which is essentially Tenkaichi 4, have AI versus AI fights, like the 3rd one did, they also have a system where you can equip upgrades. So I am very tempted to get that game, unlock everything before I stream it, and then do like the Dragon Ball Z League thing that I used to watch, where you do like AI versus AI battles and you customize them and make like themed teams. It's just a fun laid back thing. I always wanted to try to do it, and this could be a good time to do it with a decent option. I mentioned the Dragon Ball Z League thing stopped a few years ago. It did. A group of people did continue it on a different channel. They renamed it something. But not that I'm going to try to compete with that. I just want to do it for fun. Do like one season of like theme teams just for fun. That could be a nice laid back Saturday thing.
Shepard, I detected powerful alien
Kind of like marbles.
deep within the mines. It appears the device is the source.
Just a laid back thing that's like RNG based. We can bet channel points on like who's going to win. No, you're going to be frozen. I missed. Because of their scoliosis and bad posture, I went for the head, but it wasn't where I thought it would be. They had the streamer posture. They're just gonna keep spawning. They better not keep spawning. I'm running out of ammo. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. I really don't want to stand next to the explosives.
Behind us.
Why are you... Miranda, what are you doing? They're like reverting back to Mass Effect 1 AI. Just shoot the wall.
I've got no shield.
Can I please cloak? I hit cloak like 5 times.
Understood.
On my way.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, this is such a bad idea. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, this is so bad. Why am I doing this? How did that work? And it was only for 450 bucks, too. I kind of want to look around for more stuff, but I'm going to regret it. At the very least, I already hit one of the bombs, so it's okay. We're doing good. More stuff in here? Aha! I didn't need that. Alright, I think we're done in here. They probably didn't put anything super good, considering the player has to just hurry up. How are my teammates still alive, by the way? Cloakies. Well, that was simple enough. Also, Ninja, you mentioned a Stardew Valley update. I'm looking forward to the Potionomics update. Potionomics is getting an update at some point this year, which means it should be soon, unless it gets pushed. They're adding voice acting and difficulty settings, which could be fun. Like an endless mode, where there's no story, so you can just keep going, and I think I might restream it. I miss that game. And having voice acting would be great. Because I love that game, but that game destroyed my voice. Because I gave each character like their own voice, and there's so much dialogue sometimes. That would be a nice like break on my voice and just to replay it. Here we go. We have Shepard shields take 20% less damage. Awesome. Also, a game I can't stream because of a glitch. Sea of Stars is getting an update November 12th. They are implementing a bunch of quality of life stuff. I think they're even actually changing the flashback sequence of the game to be more interactive. Yeah, I haven't played. I've only played what you saw on stream. I say a glitch. There's something wrong with that game where with a certain PC setup and maybe just certain mics, when you play Sea of Stars and try to record anything with a mic, it makes the mic choppy. I don't know why. The game doesn't even use the mic. I don't know why it does that. It's a very weird glitch that doesn't affect everybody.
No messages for you, Commander.
But it affected me. I didn't realize it was like that. I streamed it for like 6 hours, and afterwards I listened to it and I was like, ugh, what happened? It's only that game. So I figured I would label that as a a non-stream only game for me. Just a fun little game I can play off stream. Just for me. And then I never played it again. Oh yeah, the other game that's on Steam that I want. Not only do I want the Dragon Ball game so I can have fun with it off stream and then unlock stuff and then do the AI thing, there's also Romancing Saga 2. I've always thought about playing Romancing Saga 2. It's an older game, but it has a really cool system in it. It's a JRPG. It has a saga level up system, which is kind of like Final Fantasy II's, but more polished, where what the stuff that you do levels up. You use a sword, level up your sword. You use magic, level up that magic. It's a cool idea when it's implemented properly, unlike Final Fantasy II, which was just a very broken system, where you would just smack yourself in the face the whole time. But they were coming out with a remake of Romancing Saga 2, and it came out yesterday. I did not even know it was coming out this soon. I kind of want to get that too. It also has like a descendant kind of system, where I would say this is like a itty bitty spoiler for the game mechanic. The game is like 20 years old, the original, and it has the same mechanic. It has a system where the game takes place over the course of a long period of time, and when you get to a certain point where you die, there's a time skip and you move on to the next part of the story with your descendant. And when you do that, you get to choose like which abilities carry over, and it's a really cool idea. And I never knew that was a mechanic in the game. And when I found out, I was very surprised a game that old had that kind of cool mechanic. Oh, there's also one more mechanic. It is the only JRPG that I know of that has permadeath. The characters in your party have a certain number of lives, and when they're gone, they're just dead. That's actually a very interesting mechanic. I have never played a turn-based JRPG that had permadeath in it. Now, you do get more people. It kind of makes it a little not important, because like the game just throws more people at you. Unlike Fire Emblem, where if like too many people die, you're just kind of screwed. Like the game will just like replace people. Like, oh, your generic knight in your party died. Here's another one. It's still fun though. It's still a fun mechanic. The game is also kind of hard. I read that if you play on classic difficulty, it's actually a challenge. That's back when JRPGs were kind of rough.
Based on population profiles, Clan Erdnot has adopted surviving members of Clan Werlock, mostly women and children.
Oh, good.
Also, I have been unable to access local medical records. I suggest asking the local clan leader for...
Shepard, what can you recite? Of course.
Wait.
Adam, too far, idiot. Not for me to... Clan Erdnot. Okir didn't tell you that, and good boy. You too, Shepard. How many times have you stepped in a mess for your crew, hmm? Hunt well,
Eh,
Shepard.
I'm okay with it. All right, let's go talk to the shaman. Once we defeat the Thresher Maw, hopefully, I believe we get the discount to the last store I can go to that I don't have a discount.
You don't have the plates to try.
And I have enough money for at least 2 of those expensive upgrades, so yay.
Then let's end it. Don't turn. Leave.
Then you must know who I am.
Most without. I'm sure you are needed elsewhere. You go beyond your. This is the time. If the ones who know you, aliens don't know strength. My followers are true Krogan. Everything about Grunt is a lie. You dare. I withdraw. You have provoked. Ring from what? Still your impatience.
And see, this time, I actually have a helmet on. I think that's pretty awesome that a Shepard with no helmet can do that and not get a concussion. Alright, normally I would bring Miranda, but honestly, Overload is useless in this fight. Warp is useful against the ads with armor, but I don't think I should bring her on this mission. I think this is a very specific time where I don't bring Miranda. I should bring someone who can help against the ads a little more, and who can do, like, okay damage to the Thresher Maw to help me out. I'm leaning towards Garrus, because Flashbang's going to do nothing. Pretty sure if I Flashbang a Thresher Maw, it's going to laugh at me. I don't, man, like, it's, there is still that bonus to my weapon damage, though. I'll bring Miranda. Old reliable. Fortification. I'm not going to use Grunt after this mission. So rather than save points for fortification, I'm just going to spend them all. And know exactly where I'm spending them. Do we want weapon damage and health regeneration? Or, well, the same thing, but different. You know, the one use I have for Grunt on this difficulty is being a giant tank. So, okay. Grunt, I shall give you, not the Matic, because I'm pretty sure the AI is done with this thing. I don't know what the best assault rifle is for teammates, honestly. The way they fire certain weapons, I don't think they're that good with the Matic. But there's really not a lot of good options. Like, this is a pea shooter, so is this. Maybe the Vindicator, but this is a more accurate weapon, and your teammates don't have to worry about accuracy too much. Maybe it is the Collector assault rifle, I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to stick with Get Plasma on this one. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to have him be a little more useful against the ads. I'm going to give him his Claymore. Yeah. Okay. Jack, no. I never bring Jack. Even on normal, she dies all the time. She's so squishy. That's why she's on Team Squishy. It's her and Morden. What am I doing? All right, first things first. Squad cryo ammo.
Let's get started, Shepard.
Then warp ammo on all my weapons. Also, I'm going to pick everything up that I can. That's like a research item thing. Because once you're done, I'm pretty sure you just leave the area. Leave the med kits. I might want those later.
Let's get started, Shepard.
I also might want this later, too. And that. I believe there's one thing I can do over here. Yeah, right here. Door,
Let's get
candy,
started, Shepard. Hit the keystone.
circle, top. Yeah, cutscene. If there's ever a good example of like a character that's great in cutscenes but not very good in combat, Jack.
First, the Krogan conquered Tuchanka and mastered it.
Since the Thresher Maul is mostly armor, I want to leave as much Widow and hand cannon as I can. So.
Natural world only we are fit to hold.
I like how they always try to play up Tuchanka like it's some kind of treasure to keep. It's a trophy. We can survive here like nobody else.
I'm ready.
I'd rather just live somewhere better. That's why I like Grunt's response when he first sees it. He's like, "This is Tuchanka." Bleh. Right behind me.
Here we go. Engaging target.
What weapon do you have out, Grunt? Good. That'll help against the ads more.
Right.
I gave him incendiary ammo. Yes, cryo is good, but I've always considered Team Cryo to be better on like SMGs that shoot a lot. I know this in this game, cryo, it's like damage based, meaning it'd be unfair to something like the Widow. Imagine having to shoot something 5 times with the Widow before it freezes. But I've always just preferred Team Cryo on rapid fire weapons. And since Grunt hits pretty hard with the Claymore, and this is anti-armor, I like the mix of it.
These beasts will not
Oh, hey.
be worthy.
We good? Nope.
You bet. Perfect. There we go.
Probably one coming up. Oh, there's actually not. Okay. Also, if Grunt and I strip off their armor, Miranda can just freeze them
They'll all die.
if needed. Like right now.
Taking heavy fire.
Don't forget about cloak. Fish. I kind of want to see what it is. I know it's supposed to be like a thing that's like in the background. I just want to see what it is. And it is Thrak.
Krogan!
Congratulations, Ninja. You got yourself a Thrak.
Here they come. I'm ready.
I might turn on the option that makes like epic and legendaries more common, just so we can see more stuff.
Night, night. Yes! Yes!
There. These beasts will know I'm worthy.
Okay. Yeah, there's settings I can do where it's like if someone resubscribes or someone subs or gives subs, you can get one. I'm pretty sure that's on. I think. It's just since I've had it activated, no one's resubbed yet. Like, people resubbed when I started streaming again, and it's been almost a month, so
Then the Krogan were
we can test that when someone resubs.
destroy the fears of a galaxy. An enemy only we could chase to their lair.
I did 5 max. I might bring it down to like 3.
Crawlers, come to your death.
Well, we don't have to fight that. That's good. Then we have the Australian enemies. The exploding bugs.
Easy enough. There we go.
Are you not dead? What? Okay. Whatever.
There we go. Friendly fire.
God, these things are creepy.
Enemy down.
They're like some Doom enemy.
Perfect.
Like, look at them.
Worthless.
They're like skulls for faces. They don't even have like skin on them. It's just... This is definitely Tachanka.
They've seen us.
And out of ammo. Goodbye.
Burn and die.
I am running out of ammo very quickly.
Here we go.
Their armor is actually very weak. On Insanity, they like to give like all the enemies protection, but sometimes when they do that, it's very weak. Like the armor on Husks doesn't last very long either. It's like level 1 armor or shield. It's just kind of there to annoy you and to make them immune to stuff like slam immediately. We good?
We need to trigger the keystone to continue the rite.
Now, all Krogan bear the genophage. Our reward, our curse. It is a fight where the only goal is survival.
Feel that? Everything is
Oh yeah.
shaking.
Oh, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Yeah.
Gear up! Finally, an enemy worth fighting.
You know something I never really noticed? The face of the Thresher Maw kind of looks similar to the Thorian. A little bit. Obviously, the Thorian's a plant, and this is not. But,
Shields of fate.
oh, that's not good. Crap. Ow, what's hitting me? Getting hit by nothing again. Move, move, move. My shield isn't back yet. I know I should be using my cloak to increase the damage per shot, but I'm trying to save it to survive. Like, if I cloaked right there and then shot, I would be, like, I wouldn't be able to do this and then just leave. And I can always shoot afterwards. Oh, that's not good. There we go. What is randomly hurting me? Like, some little thing is randomly hurting me, and it's making my shield take longer to recharge. Okay, all right. I am cloaked. Oh, I might die. I might just die here. Yep. I was cloaked, and he still hit me because it was still going for me. Ugh. Great.
Now, all Krogan bear the genophage. Our reward.
Maybe I'll just use up some other weapons first. Maybe this is no. This is the armor killer.
Feel that? Everything is shaking. I am ready.
Wait, do you not have cryo on? It's probably because I died. There you go. And then put Inferno back on you. Switch back to this. And then switch off of it because I still have to shoot this thing. There you go. Alright. Oh, it definitely sees me. Did you see that? As I was cloaked. As I was cloaked, but still moving. It was like tracking me with its head. I need to get out of here. I need to use this area because it can't knock this down. Because I don't think it can. Yeah, it gets kind of like stuck here. Which way are you going? That way. I'm also not entirely sure this thing has a weak point. Oh, well, I hit a pipe. Oh, come on. Just dance around until my shield comes back. I got plenty of time. Shield, please? That took forever for it to come back.
Enemy was fighting.
Oh, you just threaded the needle there. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on something. What am I stuck on? What am I stuck on? Oh, come on! I would have been very unhappy if I had died because of that. I got stuck.
More.
I should be able to just sit here and do this. Going that way.
No, this is a test.
All right. Yay! Well, I died once. Not a big deal. Hey, Jeebus.
We have company. Good. I want more. My credit. This will cause discussion. Our reasons with restrictions. I get traditional support if I'm. That's your head is just valuable. Try to take it.
Enemies!
You coward! Try a real man's weapon, and I forbid.
Felt that one. Kurgan charging.
This is actually kind of dangerous. I kind of forgot about this part. Cryo ammo's helping, though. Why are you just standing there?
Where'd you go?
Alright, I got 3 shots left, and they're all for you.
You're cloaked. Watch it.
Wasn't quite enough. That's okay. My teammates can finish him off. Yep.
Right. Moving is meat. Let's signal at the keystone to get out of here and leave him to rot.
Good job, Grunt.
Many run, Shepherd. Understood. It would be wrong when we are wide. The right of firsts is suffer.
This should come in handy.
I like when Grunt's just like, your job is terrible. The guy's just like, yeah, I know.
You don't hear that the hybrid and the human killed the Thresher Law? Everybody's heard.
Let's go to the shop. I don't remember if there's anything worth buying here, though.
The pits have been
There was a shotgun increase thing, which I don't need.
You killed that.
honored.
Yeah, well, make yourself useful. You just saved me. It could be worse. Without me. But that stuff, don't do me any favors.
50 hill experience.
As I understand. So, you're our new warrior. The shaman gave you the customary upgrades, I assume. Use them well. The Lord High Research, but the new...
The Solarian.
Yeah, actually, wait, forget I... My predecessors... Actually, wait, forget I said anything.
Ooh, that causes a weird neck thing.
Yeah, actually, wait, forget I...
Hold on.
Actually...
All right,
wait,
it's not
forget
that
I-
weird.
My predecessor...
It was weirder. That was weird, too.
The ground shakes and... Yes, yes, move along.
Did that get me a discount? It did. It did. At least I think it did. This is the only one worth buying. I don't need this. This would increase Miranda's warp, and that's it. I'm not going to spend 75,000 to make her warp do like an extra 50 damage, if that. Like, I'm not going to do that. But this, however...
This might be useful.
I could punch the monkey. Did I punch the monk? No, I'm not going to punch the monkey.
Shepherd!
Don't touch anything.
Oh.
Ignore them, girl. They're not worth the effort.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Good idea. Also, remember to take your medication if you have it. I just took mine because I forgot to take it earlier. It was just sitting there.
Were you around
Oops.
the female camps and the children over last week? I hear you killed a Thresher Maw.
All right, we got heavy weapon ammo, which I should probably buy. The more laser I have, the easier the final boss is. At some point, I'm thinking about piecing together my own armor. Because I have that headshot damage increase, which is great for Harbinger. So I should... You know what? This is cheap. This is cheap. I'll buy this. That's a decent thing to add on. I'll also buy this.
I'll take it.
No. No. Maybe? At least, hey, you know what? I'll give myself options. Sure.
One of the children, probably 5 years from the right.
Okay, well, bye, Tachanka. We now know Tachanka has nothing else worth buying. The only thing left to buy that actually affects my team at all, that I'm going to have at the end, is biotic damage plus 20%. And I will only come back and get that if I have the money. And if buying it unlocks the next duration one. Or not either duration or recharge time. If I find a biotic recharge time or duration for Miranda's warp, but I need to buy that to unlock it, that could be worth it. The damage on top of the duration and the cooldown. That is the only thing left on this planet. Everything else is nothing. So unless I find a biotic cooldown or duration bonus, I don't have to come back here. Which is cool. And I really don't have enough money to go shopping. I kind of want to go back to the Citadel and Omega to see what's available. But I'd only have enough for 2 of the big ones. So let me as well wait a little bit. Oh, I forgot to do that. No, get out of here. Get out of here. I have a pistol upgrade. I forget what it does. It might be headshot damage. Heavy pistol critical. Oh no, it's this. Heavy pistols sometimes deal double damage. It's just a bonus. Like that's great. Just an occasional double damage shot. Cool. Oh, I do have that. Squad bonus plus 20% biotic power duration. This would make Miranda's warp last longer. I'll be honest, when I said this, I like 95% leaned more towards cooldown. Being able to spam warp is cool, but having it last an extra second, I can still wait on it. If I have the money, I can get it. Now let me take a look at what armor pieces I have. I would like to get the headshot damage bonus going, but it depends on my options of what I have. Because currently, I have increased heavy weapon ammo capacity by 10%. Has been completely useless to me, because I never use my heavy weapon until the very end of the game. But you'll see shields and health by 10%. Cool. Survivability. But let's see what I can do with that. The 10% to heavy weapon ammo, I can live without that. So if I can get like a decent shield or health boost on top of other stuff, I should take it. Health by 5%. Health by 5%. Headshot damage by 10%, I should take this. 10% is a lot for the Widow. And with my slowdown time thing with the sniper rifle, I can usually land headshots, especially in Harbinger. And weapon damage plus 5%. Now, one can make the argument, increasing headshot damage by 10% is very situational. Some enemies literally don't have a headshot to them. It doesn't count. Or doesn't seem to. I've always been told the Scion has a head you can shoot, but I never really noticed a damage increase. Not really. Would you take 10% of just headshot damage? Or would you take 5% of damage across the board? This is only good if you hit him in the head. This is good no matter what. I think this is better, because like with like the Locust, you know, I'm just spraying bullets in someone's chest to lower their barrier and stuff. I think this is better just because it affects every single shot, including on enemies that don't have a headshot spot. Yeah, like I think this is better. Now, if I was going into like a mission. Now, when I go into the final mission, I'm tempted to go back to this just so I can kill Harbinger a little bit faster. But this is still good, too. All right. That's really good. Power damage by 30% is awful for me. Shields by 5%. At least it's, well, it's not 10%, but I'll take it. Weapon damage plus 3% is honestly not bad. Health by 5%. Health kind of sucks. Like, once you get down to health, you're in trouble. Like, I feel like shield is kind of better to go into. But 3% weapon damage is kind of bad. It's kind of bad. It's only 3%. Ugh. Why is it only changing one of my shoulders? Oh, it's literally called asymmetric defense layer. That makes sense. I'll do this. That's fine. Shields by 5%. I will do this. Spare ammo capacity by 10% is amazing. That'll get me like an extra widow shot, maybe even 2 if it rounds up. I like this. And all I have is this. That sucks. Shield strength plus 3%. So what I'm rocking right now, instead of 10% shield and 10% health, I have 8% weapon damage. I have 5% shield and 5% health. So I have 8% shield and no health bonus. So I sacrificed 10% health bonus, 2% shield bonus, and the heavy ammo, 10%, for 8% weapon damage overall, and 10% on all ammo, besides heavy. I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as heavy. If I can find better legs, I can make this better. Like, the legs and the shoulders aren't that good. I need to look for better legs and shoulders. Alright, it's fine. I lost 10% health. I don't think that ever would... In all my deaths I've ever had in this game, I don't know if 10% was ever the difference. So... But an extra 8% weapon damage, there has been a lot of times where I've left enemies with like 5% of their health. And I have to waste time and ammo to kill it. So that's probably better, especially for my class. Hello. Speaking of hamsters, I actually went to the pet store on Tuesday. I've been on and off thinking about getting a new pet. Something small, so I can reuse the old cage that I have. Which, by the way, if someone's thinking like, oh, I'm reusing a hamster cage for potentially something bigger, this cage is very big for a hamster. Like, if you look at the recommendations for a single hamster's cage size, mine is like at least double that. So if I were to get like a rat, for instance, which I've been thinking about, that thing's definitely big enough for one rat, probably 2. But unfortunately, when I got to the pet store on Tuesday, they were out of like everything. All they had left was mice. I don't mind mice, but it's not what I'm looking for. Plus, this cage, the space in between the bars is not built for a mouse. A mouse could easily slip through this. I'm honestly worried that if I got another hamster, for the first like 3 weeks I had Hammy, I had a small cage. That was like a plastic cage. The one, the typical ones you get at the store that are terrible. I got this cage after he grew some. I'm worried a very small, like, young Syrian hamster could slip through those bars probably. And it worked out that I had that cheap, crappy one for like the first 3 weeks to a month I had him, so he grew bigger. And I can't get a dwarf hamster. I like the idea of having more than one because they like company. But dwarf hamsters are so small, they could also easily fit through that cage. For a dwarf hamster, you need a cage that has very, very little space between the bars, or just like an aquarium kind of thing. Where it's just like plastic or glass or something. That way there's just no way they can get out. Rats are smart, though. It wouldn't surprise me if a rat figured out a way to get out of this cage. Like, there's a door on the front that just pushes out, but there's a bar that goes around it to make it so you can't do that. But if a rat were able to get his little hand around there and like push the bar and just enough to be able to like get it out of there, then they could push the door open. Well, of course, that door is also like 2 feet off the ground where that hinge is, so good luck. If I wake up one morning and I have a rat and it's out of the cage, like, good job. That's impressive. All right, where am I going now? What am I doing? What am I doing now? I died once. What do I want to do? How about... Oh, here's a new area that I haven't gone to. Let's go here. We'll knock out a side quest. Yep, I died fighting the Thresher Maw. I almost died twice because I got stuck on something. Oh, is there nothing here? Is this just a system for resources? So you might find it weird that I'm checking gas giants for missions. I think there might be one planet in the entire series that looks like a gas giant that has a mission on it. It's either not a gas giant and it just looks like one from here. Like when you look at this, you think gas giant, right? Like it looks like one. But I believe there's at least one planet in 2 or 3 that has a mission on the surface that looks like a gas giant. And again, it's either a gas giant, and then maybe it's just a mess up or something, or it just looks like one. Maybe it has a really, really, really thick atmosphere, and it makes it look like a gas giant. And it's also big. Really? I would have thought I could land here. Now, when you see a planet that looks like this, the first thing I think of... the first thing I think of is Element Zero. Oh, hello, Flaskfax. Yeah. Oh man, I've been thinking about playing KOTOR again, honestly. Why do I always think about playing the same games over and over again?
Probe away.
To be fair, I have an idea for my playthrough to make it a little different. For KOTOR 2, I was going to do a like a force monk where I do unarmed, and I only take force powers that can be used point blank range to make it look like it's like a, you know, like level 1 push is a single target push, but point blank it could look like a force punch. So, and I kept going back and forth between, do I want to make him light side or dark side? I don't remember if I was able to decide on that or not. There are benefits to both.
Probe launch.
The sad thing is KOTOR 2 is very lopsided when it comes to certain things. For instance,
Launching probe.
the stat that dictates what implants you can equip in KOTOR 2 is your con stat. But con has never been that great. It's just health. That's all it is. Like, the return that you get on your attribute point is not very good. But you have to have 18 natural con to be able to equip the highest tier implants, which are very good in that game. And when you go dark side, there are, I believe, 3 opportunities to get a permanent con increase.
Launching probe.
There's one from HK, and there's 2 from Hanar, who you only get dark side. Hence, dark side.
Probe launched.
When you are light side, I think you only can get 1. And I think it might be the same HK one. It's just, you can kind of lie your way to it. If you want to play it that way. Is there nothing here too? Or did I miss something? It's probably one of these. Where are you? There it is, I see it. This little meatball. Nothing. There's got to be something here.
I have detected an anomaly.
There it is. Oh, it's this mission. Oh, I hate this one.
I have found something.
This one is actually pretty dangerous. I'm a sniper. And if the Quarian dies, it counts as a loss for me, which counts as a death for me. Ugh. Escort mission, kind of. I almost want to bring Grunt, just because he can get in the Varen's face. His shotgun is great for killing Varen. Crowd control is good for this as well. But I really don't have that, so because I don't have Samara yet. I'm going to go Kasumi. They can double up on cryo ammo Tempest, and if I focus on shooting the armor off first, I can then flashbang them and kind of play whack-a-mole. Ooh, warp. Kasumi only has level 1 warp, but still also has overload. I mean, warp, heavy, or well, do we want unstable? No, we want heavy. Yeah. I only did Shadow Strike to level 2 to unlock overload. I believe I had to put it to level 2 to unlock overload. This is a really good distraction. But you'll notice when you go up to this, it reduces the cooldown if the target dies and increases the damage. I don't care about that. I mean, the cooldown would be nice, but I don't want to have to chain deaths with her. If it was just lowered the cooldown, I would take it. But at level 2, it does its job. It distracts. It does its job. I'm actually going to switch back to this. If there's an instance where the Quarian's about to die, I might be able to use the Avalanche to, like, group freeze some Varen. And I'm tempted to switch to the Viper, just because it has more ammo, and feels like a more mid-range sniper rifle than this thing. I kind of want to switch to the Tempest, because it's more up close. But I'll do this for now. We'll see what happens. Oh no.
I am also detecting multiple native life
Wait.
signs near your landing site.
Do not go any further. Their armor and health, which means warp ammo all the way. Well, that would be AP ammo all the way, but I have warp for barriers, so. I sacrifice a little damage on health and armor to add barriers to what I'm good against. Especially for the last mission. Now, if I wanted to min-max this, I could literally respec, take AP ammo, and then not take warp ammo again until the very last mission. The next time I'm going to need a warp-heavy team is the final mission because of all the collectors. If I was smart, I would respec for AP ammo, and then respec to warp ammo afterwards. Just because there's more barriers there. But I mean, I'm not smart, am I? We're just gonna go. We're just gonna keep this.
The Quarian life signs are stabilized. I recommend securing the area in preparation.
Here we go. I love this part.
Ambush!
I'm gonna keep doing it until I see a red dot. There's one.
Easy enough. Engaging target. Down you go.
The problem with this is I can't really cloak. I could cloak for a damage boost, but if I cloak, they're more likely to go after the target. That's the problem.
Here goes.
I will cloak, but I will immediately shoot.
Ooh.
Just for the bonus to damage.
Eat. Ooh.
Oh, no. No. Oh, no, you don't.
That one hit.
All right, we're starting to get swarmed. Oh, there's one, like, on me. Good. No!
Hostiles.
Get on the ship. Get on the ship. I'm a packlid. Don't insult me.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
I've always loved the idea of the packlids, though. How did they get to space? It's kind of like in that Stellaris mod I showed. How do the Vorcha get to space? In order to make the Stellaris thing work, they had to give, like, the Krogan and the Vorcha ships, or else it just doesn't work. Because we obviously know how Krogan and Vorcha get around. They're mercenaries, right? Like, the Blood Pack probably have their own ships because they're a mercenary band. They can afford them. They probably also get hired by people who put them on ships. You know, they provide the transportation. But Stellaris can't really do that so easily with just a mod. So you have to give them ships or else nothing's going to happen. It's like Omega. In that mod, I will bet you the entire demographic of aliens on Omega are all Asari. Just because the game is like, what race is the start? Oh, it's Asari. Because of Arya. But in reality, there should be a ton of different populations there. If they start with like 20 pops to simulate like 1 million pops per pop, kind of, sort of, it should be like a handful of everything. Like Batarians, Vorcha, Krogan, Asari, Turian, human. But just because of the limitations of the game with an origin start, they're probably all Asari. But yeah, it's a similar thing to that. How did the Packlids make it to space? Well, think about Mass Effect. We don't know how to run the Citadel. The Keepers do it for us. I would imagine the Packlids most likely stole technology from... We know that. I already know that. They steal technology from other people, but they're already in space doing that. I'm wondering how they got there in the first place. I'd imagine someone probably landed on their planet, kind of like the Vulcans did for First Contact for Earth, and it started to help them out, and more people landed, and then eventually they turned on them and just took all the ships, and they were like just smart enough to figure out how to make the ship go. And what they did in the episode they're introduced in Next Generation, I mean, they trick the entire crew into letting their chief engineer go over there and help fix their ship. That was dumb. We call the Packlids dumb. The flagship of the Federation just allowed their chief engineer, who has so many secrets and like knowledge of the Federation, how their engines work and weapons and everything. We just sent our number one guy, our number one engineer, to a random person's ship that we don't know anything about because they seem like not like an enemy. That was incredibly dumb. Yeah. Like, the Federation they were just like, they're so used to running into people like the Romulans and the Cardassians, where they're like obviously like smart and manipulative and strategic. And then run into the Packlids and the way they speak and act, they're like, oh, they're not a threat. They actually did trick them though. I guess the whole point of that is like, who are really who are the dumb ones really? Nothing. Like, even if they felt the Packlids weren't a threat, you still don't send over your chief engineer. I know the Next Generation, they always send the wrong people on missions. Hey, there's this super dangerous mission. Let's send 3. We're sending 4 people. Let's send our XO, our commander, Riker. Let's send our chief of security, Worf. And let's send the only android in the Federation. And if it's lost, it's a big deal. Let's send those 3 and then Ensign Bob. Like, it's like, well, first off, Bob is dead. But also, why did they do that all the time? I get it. They're the main characters of the show. Would we, as people watching the show as viewers, care if they sent people down on a mission that was the main plot of the episode and it was 4 random people we've never seen? I get it. It just always bothered me. It sounds like a Geth mission, which means this is still fine. Oh, yeah, it's this one. Geth control the weather. Yes, which is why I like Lower Decks. I can't watch it anymore because I no longer have the streaming service for it, but I've seen the first 3 seasons, I think, of Lower Decks. I like it. It's funny, but it also has some really cool Star Trek stuff in it. And if you're a fan of Star Trek, it has so many Easter eggs. Also, hello, CB Liberty.
We're compromised.
Aim for the flashlight head. Good job, Miranda. Just stand there.
Affirmative.
Oh, I lost him. There he is. That was weird.
Engaging target.
Eat it. Gotcha.
What the? Why does that keep happening? Stop it. Hi, Remnant. Ooh, Remnant. If you're going to be around for a bit, I was thinking about cutting the Mass Effect 2 part of the stream a little shorter. I was going to go back into that Stellaris Mass Effect mod. I found a way to make it work. You can add a repeatable naval capacity research to kind of get around the naval capacity problem. Also, there is a sandbox mode where every civilization starts on their home planet and then they just go out into space. Is it realistic for Mass Effect? No. The Asari had like 3,000 years ahead of us in terms of like space travel. But we could do a what if. Like, what if for some reason everyone got Mass Effect technology at the same time on an even playing field? Maybe it was a Prothean. Oh, hey, Remnant, you got you. Good job. You fished up you. But yeah, maybe the Protheans like would have put like these things on everyone's planets and given everyone the knowledge of space travel and Mass Effect technology all at the same time as an even playing field, and then like see who does better. Hey, oh, you got Hammy. Yay. I completely whiffed that shot. Oh, you got Embrace Eternity. I believe Ninja got that earlier. I still like how you caught yourself. What am I doing in there? Hey, you got Shepard like that creepy face. Alright, calm down. Calm down. What else do you get? Oh, you got Renegade Me! Oh, the fish thing? There's a game that runs in the background. It's a Steam game. And you can do it up to 5 times a stream. You just do the routine for space fishing, and you just fish random stuff. It's just a little thing that people can interact with. There's a leaderboard. I put all my emotes and some other random stuff in there for fun. And unlike something like stream avatars, where like you have like, you've ever seen streamers where they have like the avatars at the bottom and they can do stuff, you don't have to agree to anything. It's just based on your name in chat. So that's good. If you don't want to like agree to something, to like link it to it, kind of like what is it? Like that sound elements thing I used to have, or stream avatars or anything like that. You don't have to agree to anything. It just uses your name and keeps track of your points.
Get ready.
But yeah, that sandbox mode can be fun. Also, it's a good way to learn how to play the game. Imagine trying to play a game like Stellaris, where you jump into a world where you already have like 20 planets. It would be insane to try to learn that. The sandbox mode is probably there to just learn how to play the changes. Like how to make all the different resources that were added for the Mass Effect ones. So it's a good idea for 2 reasons. 1, it's actually playable. And 2, I can learn how to play the stuff. And 3, I can have fun with it. I can't see what I'm doing. Hi, Julie. I'm going to assume they're just going to keep spawning. That's what it kind of feels like. Oh, you got Remnant. Remnant, did you jump back in there? If you type !stats, it'll show your exact number. It'll tell you like your number, like whatever out of whatever, and it'll show you how much gold you have. There's also a leaderboard one, but it kind of makes a mess of the chat. I don't know if I have it on or not. It like lists like everything. I believe anyone can do stats. But yeah, good job, Julie. You caught Remnant. Oh, I want to. I know. Eventually, I will stop looking at it, but I'm curious to see like how things look. Oh, you got. I like Blitzball. It's so stupid. It's just the stupid, creepy face looking at a Blitzball. I forget. I made that at some point. I think I made that for the Blitzball stream. All right, Julie. What are you gonna get? Remnant again. Oh, it's just me. Oh, yeah, it's the animated one. Hello. Yep, there it is. It just keeps track of everything. Again, it's just a fun little thing to do. I know that when Sen uses it, she does it per month, but I don't know if it's per month by default or if she just resets it every month to give like someone else a chance to get to the top. I'm not sure how she does it. I didn't see a setting to make it per month, so I'm assuming she just resets it per month. Which you can do. There's a button to just reset it. Oh, there's Hammy again. There they are. Miranda? What is happening? Miranda? Miranda? There you go. Ah, you got Thrak.
I got it.
I believe Ninja also got Thrak earlier.
That one hit.
In state? Yep, from who? No one on my team has biotics but her. And the Gaff don't have biotics, or do they? Do 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 do. I should probably switch to the other bullets I have. I am fighting a bunch of robots. No, you guys get up there.
Right there. Got it.
Okay. What's Jeebus gonna catch? Oh, yay, it's the Tallyhydrate. Emergency induction port.
We can use this.
No messages for you, Commander.
Damage protection? Do I have anything else I can do?
Shepard!
Oh, my back. Oh, I can do another
Remember
damage
to
protection.
Stay hydrated.
Well, I think it's the one I just got. That's good. 40% to shields, barriers, and armor. Awesome. Hydrate. I should do my fishing too. I should participate as well. I'll do it near the end of stream. Alright, what's next on our somewhat short Mass Effect 2 day? Because I want to mess with that Stellaris mod again. That's also Mass Effect. So, still Mass Effect. Oh, you know what's cool? I found out there is a Stargate mod for Stellaris. And it's actually somewhat up to date. You still have to revert back to a previous version, but I had to do that for Mass Effect too. But yeah, there's like a full overhaul Stellaris one, or a full overhaul Stargate one. There's also 2 Star Trek ones. I've actually played one of them called New Horizons. There's also one called New Civilizations. They are very similar to each other. Has anyone here ever seen or played that Star Trek game, Infinite? It was made by the same company of Stellaris. It was Paradox. Hold on, is there Element Zero here? If there is, I kind of want to get it. Because it's kind of hard to find. Yep, there is. Most planets that look like Earth, kind of, like this, have element zero.
Upgrades,
Anyway,
which allow squad members to
Star Trek
apply
Infinite could have been
automated
so good.
more effective.
A Stellaris game that's officially built to be Star Trek with like Star Trek's license. They could use Star Trek stuff and it's legal, like it's not a mod. It's bad. It is a very bare bones Stellaris game. Even when you count Stellaris without any DLC, it's still bare bones. It's also kind of glitchy. It also is no longer being supported. The game wasn't out for even a year before Paradox was like, we're done with this. So that's very unfortunate. I will play it on stream at some point. I will show it off. A lot of people don't like the game. I honestly don't really like it either that much, but I think it's worth showing and playing because it's Star Trek. It's kind of fun, even if it's completely unbalanced and dumb, because the end game is the Borg, which makes sense. But you can only have the end game one of two ways. You do something to stop the Borg from being super strong at the end, so they don't even show up at the end. So the mid-game crisis is kind of the end game, which makes the end game pointless.
Launching probe.
Because nothing happens. Or you purposely don't do the thing, and the Borg show up at the end, but they're so powerful that it's almost impossible to actually beat them. I tried. I played on easy and tried to beat the Borg when they showed up. Oh, you got Shepard Pog. You got rando Shepard Pog. I tried to do it. I couldn't. And it's for the same reason why in Stellaris, if you're facing the endgame crisis and you're the only player in the game, everyone else is like dumb AI on easy, there's a reason why you might still lose. You can't be everywhere at once. While I'm killing the Borg in one area because I'm strong, they're just eating the other three powers, of the three major powers of the Alpha Quadrant and Beta Quadrant. Like, I held my own borders, and I was fighting back the Borg in one of their spaces. And then I look over and it's like, oh, they've just eaten like the Romulans. They're gone. Like, I was gonna lose. I would have held my own border, but it would have been a stalemate. I would have just continuously been attacked and defend, but I would not have been able to save the other powers. It was too late. Okay, I did a mission here. Let's go back and get some fuel. Thane gives you the more probes. Samara gives you the more fuel. I actually might have to wait to get Samara before getting to this area. I'm not sure if I can make it on 500. Ooh. Oh, you can. Just be careful. Yeah, probably. I feel like every like long-running sci-fi thing probably has some kind of AI enemy. And they are similar. The replicators don't assimilate people, but they do essentially eat them and their ships and produce more of themselves, so. The replicators were a really cool enemy to add. The Goa'uld are cool and everything, but the replicators are, I really like them as an enemy. Is there nothing over here but just resources? Hey, Blue. Well, since I'm here, I might as well gather some resource.
Probe launched.
Now, I've only ever played as the Federation. I tried playing as the Klingons and the Romulans once, but I didn't get very far. And that's part of the fun. That's part of what little fun I can get out of that game while streaming it, is playing as the different powers once. That could be fun.
Launching probe.
There's also really cool, one of the better ideas in the game. There's a really cool thing you can do where you have your story missions, but you can actually go different ways with it. Like for the Federation, you can do the whole Federation nice to everybody thing, or you could go the route of Section 31 and then start to like conquer people, basically. There's also one like when you're the Federation, you can make friends with the Cardassians and like make them not suck. And when you're the Cardassians, you can do the same thing. You can have like an enlightenment where the Cardassians are like, wait a minute, we kind of suck. We have slavery and no one likes us. What if we change our ways a little bit? And you can go that way. You can go that route. You can change. You can like abolish your slavery. You can become less authoritarian, and everyone else likes you more. And that's actually kind of cool to do like what if scenarios. For the Romulans, you can do like reunification with the Vulcans. Interesting idea. So yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. It's just a shame that the game is no longer supported. I really need Palladium. Well.
Probe launched.
Oh yeah, the Dominion War doesn't exist. That was probably going to be a thing that was added later. That might have been one of, who knows, that might have been one of the, if you could cycle through the end games like the Borg, maybe the Dominion War would have been another end game. Crisis. Never got that far. There are other civilizations in the game besides the Big Four, but they're secondary, so they're not very powerful. And as the Federation, you have them join the Federation. But as someone like the Romulans, you kind of like do your spy thing and turn them into puppet states. And as the Cardassians, you just enslave them and vassalize them. You know, Cardassians. The Batarians of Star Trek.
Probe launched.
I know they came first. Speaking of the Dominion War, though, the two mods that I've seen, the full overhaul mods for Stellaris, New Horizons and New Civilizations, I've played New Horizons. There is a mode that lets you run through the entire storyline of the Federation from Kirk all the way to like new stuff. That's a really cool idea.
Probe away.
Now you could fail it though, and if you fail it, it isn't good for you. Like for instance, I think I remember if you fail a certain mission in the past, like during like the Enterprise era, which is where it starts, I guess. Yeah. With Archer. If you fail a certain mission that's in the show, you become the Terra Nova party, basically. There's a point in the Enterprise show at the very end of the series where like this Terra Firma party comes out of nowhere and is like, pro-human, we hate aliens. And if there's a certain mission that if you don't complete in New Horizons, the Federation becomes like the Terra Firma party. And you're like xenophobic all of a sudden. And then you go throughout history as like the xenophobic, like authoritarian Federation. Kinda, yeah. It kind of just turns it into the Mirror Universe. I think that might have been an option too in one of those mods, where you can start as the Terran Empire, basically. Yeah. Like you can start as the Federation, or you can start as like the Terran Empire, from the Mirror World. That could be fun too. But yes, unfortunately, the Star Trek mods that were made by community members make a way better Star Trek game than Star Trek Infinite. It's sad. I was looking forward to just having something official. but guess not. I will still play it, though. I will play it 4 times on stream for the 4 different powers, and we'll mess with it and see what we can do. I still want to have fun with it.
I have detected an anomaly.
Brubble, brubble, brubble.
Launching probe. Something on our sensors.
There's like, the problem with Infinite is there's a big glitch. Like I mentioned before, you have to do a certain thing with the Borg, or else they show up in the future and just destroy everything. You can stop them in the, like, further in the past with something. It's kind of dumb. And if you don't do it, the Borg will just, again, I purposely didn't do it once. I held my own, but the other civilizations did not. And I was not going to beat them. But I tried to do the mission. That mission's bugged. There are times you have to move a certain character in a certain ship to the area and protect them while they do something. But half the time I played the game as Federation, there was a bug where it wouldn't let me do it. So I just couldn't do it. Or, one of my personal favorite dumbs, the area where you have to send that character to stop the Borg eventually is randomly spawned in the galaxy. Now, I wouldn't say it's still near the area where all 4 of you are. Here's the problem. In that game, most ships can only travel as far as your warp bubble allows. By that I mean, let's say you're the Federation in your space. You can go wherever you want. You actually can't go anywhere else in the galaxy besides your science ships to survey and your construction ships to build. Your fleets, your naval power cannot go into any other part of space unless, you know, in Stellaris your borders get bigger as you grow. It's that. Your forces cannot go outside of your border. Now you can do what's called like a warp pact, where you share it with like the Klingons, let's say. So you can go anywhere the Klingons can go. The main problem I had was there were times where the Borg event was outside my territory and I couldn't get there fast enough. I tried to build like directly to it, but I couldn't get there in time. Another annoying thing about the game. It just spawns that wherever it feels like, and half the time you can't even get to it in time. Because what you need a certain amount of fleet power in the system for the event to work, and your fleet can't go there. A simple fix would have been, don't do that. Don't have it to where your fleets can't leave your own borders. It's kind of dumb.
I am detecting a large power source inside the base.
I know which one this is.
Probable that destroying it would disrupt the entire facility.
We're going to be fighting a bunch of Vorcha here, which means warp ammo is probably the best option. Yeah. Well, this is either... Pretty sure this is the Vorcha one. Yeah, this is the Vorcha one. I heard him. I heard him for a second. From a just from a distance.
Enemies in front.
Just cackling. But no, it'd be Blood Pack. Okay. If it's Vorcha, it's Blood Pack. Yeah, because only they would. Yeah, because only they would hire him. But there's that one Krogan you talk to that's like, it's either the one on Tachanka or the one on Omega. That's like, well, aren't the Blood Pack also made of Vorcha? They're not just Krogan. And he's just like, he just laughs. He's like, no. The Vorcha are not part of the Blood Pack. They are fodder. They're as much part of the Blood Pack as Varen are. Poor Vorcha. I feel okay. I somehow hit the wall, even though he doesn't hit the wall. Are you just like taking a break? What's happening to you? Or is your foot stuck in the ground? What the? He's doing his best Elcor impersonation. All right, I'm just gonna kill you. There are a series of Blue Sun's missions in this game, though. One of them involves a ship that has a glitch on it, where if you kill the enemies too fast, they'll stop spawning and you can't continue. In the first year of the contest, I had to restart that mission because of a glitch. I couldn't do anything. You're not supposed to be able to restart missions or save scum, but if the game is just like, nope, we're not going to spawn the next part of the game, then you have to. Which is still unfair, because that means I had to play the entire ship again. I'd already killed a bunch of enemies. Yeah, that one. The Widow's so good. I'm glad I took this instead of assault rifle training. It's just so powerful. And I do have an extra shot. Because of my 10% extra ammo, I have 1 extra shot. Which for the Widow is not bad. I mean, that's a lot of extra damage. Hello? Vorcha?
Here they come.
Yep, and there's the Krogan. Man, this Krogan is tough.
Can't do that right now.
Let's get our shield back. Bye, Miranda.
Gotcha. Haha.
Uh-oh, okay, I'm looking at a wall. Is he gonna get up and eat? Wow, that knocked him out for a while.
Got it.
Okay, the Krogan is dead. That took a lot of shots. Just to show how powerful and tough the Krogan are, the Widow is so powerful because it is an anti-vehicle weapon, basically. It's like an I forget what it's called. It's like an anti-artillery weapon, I think it's technically an anti-material weapon, but it's essentially like an anti-tank weapon. It's meant to stop big things. So, yeah. It took like 10 shots of the Widow to kill a Krogan. Hi. Ah, good old intelligent Vorcha. You'll never find me here. It's like when the Vorcha play hide and seek, they hide behind the curtain, you can still see their feet.
You're gonna die.
Oh, really? Alright, well, we win. I could have just cloaked and kind of like did this without killing the enemies. Oh, also, this gives me an opportunity to to look around.
I'd like a closer look at that.
Normally, I just do this as fast as possible, but what the? That doesn't look great.
Come on, we need to leave.
We can use this.
We can use this. Did I level up? I did not. I got another heavy weapon ammo. I have all 5 of them. I believe most of these upgrades have 6. I believe they do stack. Like, it'll say 5, right? And it goes up to, like, 50% of something. I'm pretty sure I've gotten the 6th of something. And it'll go, like, then 6 out of 6. And it'll give you 60%. Pretty sure that's how that works. Normally, I don't find the 6th one, though. Oh, you got Blitzball. Yay! I remember getting 6 out of 6 on one of them. Too bad it wasn't the sniper rifle damage. I have not seen a sniper rifle increase in such a long time, and no shop has them. I've been to all the shops, and only one shop had 1 sniper rifle damage. Apparently, you have to find them all. Ugh. I'm pretty sure the IFF mission has one. I remember in the first contest, I used the Widow a lot as a soldier, and I think I remember having the same problem. And I remember going to the IFF mission and I think I found one there. I mean, at least I get it for the end game.
Anything else, Commander? It's all... No messages for you, Commander.
Boo. There's not going to be any more missions in this system. Not this one. The reason why I don't just get the 100%, so I know I've been here, I sometimes do planet scanning off stream. This year, you don't have to stream everything. So I leave them that way. That way I know I haven't been there. And I can just go straight there, get some resources, and then leave. Now this looks like a planet that might have some element 0. Yep.
Probe launched. Probe away. Launching probe.
I still need palladium. I don't have any upgrades waiting for it, I don't think.
Away.
But I'm sure at some point I'll find one.
Probe away.
I never remember in Mass Effect which elements are real and which ones are made up. Like, I'm pretty sure there's one in 2 or 3 called Samarium. That sounds fake. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't real.
Probe launched.
But, or if it was real, I guess. But that just that doesn't sound like, one of our periodic table of element things.
Probe away.
Unobtainium. What's the other one? One of them is from Avatar, and one of them is from Transformers. Unobtainium is one of them. What is the other? I remember they both have really stupid names for, like, the MacGuffin metal that's required. I think it might be Transformium. It's so bad. I'm bad at naming things, but I would not name a special metal in the Transformers universe Transformium. Unobtainium is from Avatar. Okay. Okay, this was just for resources. I have never seen Avatar. I remember when it came out in 3D in theaters, people were like, this is awesome. Even if you don't even like the story or anything, it's like, it's just good to look at. But then it came back to theaters for 3D so people could watch it again. Still didn't go see it. I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't feel like watching it. No idea why. Now, honestly, the only movies I would probably, I don't really go anywhere anymore, especially the movie theater. I just don't want to. Like, I don't want to sit in a big room with a bunch of chairs with other people in the dark. I don't know. It's just not my thing anymore. But if the only movies I can think of that if they ever got a re-release in theaters that I would go see, I'm trying to think, besides Star Wars. The original Star Wars trilogy, I would go see. I'm trying to think of anything else that I would go see. You know, just for the sake of knowing where I've already done the side quests, let's just make sure everything says 100%. Just so I don't miss anything. I can always find random planets to scan. I haven't scanned that many of them. Samarium is real? Huh. Is it, like, common? Or is it one of those ones that exists for, like, a fraction of a second? Like Einsteinium and Americanium. Where they're literally made in a lab just so they can name it. And it doesn't exist in real life. And it only exists for a fraction of a second before it just...
Probe away.
Oh. I'll take it.
Probe.
Shepard!
Oh. Oh.
Remember to stay hydrated.
My back did that lawn. Remember I talked about that lawn chair thing? Like the old school lawn chairs where when you bring them to the beach or whatever and you like fold them out and it makes that clicking noise like 5 times. It's like, it was like that. Oh. I'm sure that's a good sign.
Launching probe.
It's rare but real. They use it in magnets? Huh. I kind of just assume magnets were magnets. You know, that's a good question. What metal are magnets made of? I honestly can't tell you. I would have assumed just like iron, but I don't know. I'm sure there's different kinds. Like a standard magnet. Isn't it just magnetized iron? Yeah, I just mean like a standard cheap magnet that's like on your fridge.
Probe launched. Launching probe.
Magnets are weird. Magnets are one of those cool things you can do a lot with. Like just magnetism in general is... There's a reason why Magneto is considered to be one of the strongest mutants in the X-Men universe. It's like, oh, all he can do is control metal. No.
Probe launched.
He has the power of magnetism. That's a little different. That's apparently very powerful. Bum ba ba bum bum ba. Like, I'd imagine if he has control of magnetism, I'm sure this is in the comics at some point. I mean, the Earth has a magnetic sphere. I'm sure that's come into play at some point. And also the fact that the core of our planet is made out of several metals. Like, there's a lot of metals in there, molten and solid. That'd be a little scary if Magneto was having a bad day and he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna rip the planet in half. that actually well, not that, but one of my favorite alternate timelines in X-Men is the Apocalypse one, Age of Apocalypse, where I'm trying to remember what triggers that. Oh, I remember now. I believe Xavier's son, Legion, goes back in time to kill Magneto. That way he's not always like, in his mind, he's like, I'm going to kill Magneto when they're still friends. Because he's always in the way of my dad's stuff. He's always a constant pain. I'm going to go kill him in the past. But then I believe Xavier, like, sacrifices himself to save his friend. So Legion, like, killed his own dad, which would mean Legion would cease to exist, I suppose. But that causes the Age of Apocalypse, where Magneto sees this happen. And he's like, oh. Then Magneto actually forms the X-Men. But without Xavier doing Xavier things, Apocalypse takes over the world. Mutants take over the world. But only the strongest. Because that's how Apocalypse is. The strongest survive, the weak perish. That is the same universe where Dark Beast came from, and a few other people. Only like 4 people survived that timeline and made it into the present. It was Dark Beast, which was just like the version of Hank McCoy in the Age of Apocalypse timeline. He's like a mad scientist. He's a bad guy. And if I remember correctly, I believe that Dark Beast is responsible for making the Morlocks. Because when he escaped the timeline, it was like earlier in the main timeline. And he experimented on a bunch of people, and I think that's where the Morlocks came from. It's either him or Sinister, I can't remember. Comics are comics. They change things all the time. But I remember in that timeline, Cyclops was the adopted son of Sinister. Sinister wasn't good, but he was still planning to, like, overthrow Apocalypse just for his own benefit. Magneto ran the X-Men. I believe there was a point where Wolverine lost a hand permanently, and Cyclops lost an eye when they were fighting. Like, Cyclops blasted off Wolverine's hand. Somehow it went through the adamantium at the joint, and, like, he lost his hand. But then Wolverine also, like, stabbed Cyclops in one of his eyes. So both their powers were kind of nerfed there. Ooh. Look at this gold band. More platinum, come on.
Launching probe.
But in the end, they, like, all end up working together to stop him. In the end, though, do you know who actually stops Apocalypse?
Launching probe.
I don't understand why he didn't do this to begin with, after so many years of just, like, Apocalypse destroying everything. Magneto does. He rips him apart. Because the present-day Apocalypse is, like, made of metal. And he just rips him apart.
Launching probe.
It's like, why didn't you do that sooner? Maybe it's because he embraced Xavier's, like, somewhat pacifism towards their enemies, and that's why he didn't do it until then? I don't know.
Probe away.
Magneto is one of my favorite comic book characters most of the time. In certain, like, continuations, he's dumb. Because he's just, like, the mustache-twirling villain that just wants to kill people for no reason. I like his version, like in the anime. Even the animated series did him justice. He's not bad. And when it comes down to, like, saving the planet, you know, like, there is a 5-part Apocalypse special in the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. Like, he helps the X-Men. Like, it's just, like, that's... Magneto's not an idiot. When it comes down to something like Apocalypse, he's like, yeah, I'll help you fight him. I might be kind of rough sometimes, but he's just insane.
Probe away. Probe away.
Well, it's similar to like, why didn't Magneto rip the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton sooner? Why did they wait decades of comic book time before they were like, oh, wait a minute, Magneto can just do that? I think it's because, like you said, Magneto would not go that far. Even though Wolverine's usually in his way and he has to like fight him to get what he wants, I think that was a period of time where Magneto was just super frustrated. And he was just like, you know what? I'm having a bad day. I'm just gonna do this. That is also what inspired Xavier to wipe Magneto's mind. Once he did that to Wolverine, Xavier kind of lost it and like mind wiped Magneto. That's when he went good for a while. I think his name was Joseph. That was some weird arc where they found someone with like similar powers to Magneto and it ended up being like a mind wiped Magneto. He eventually went back to being his normal self. Because comics. That also caused the birth of Onslaught. Xavier's dark side, which he has one, like melded with Magneto's, like memories and like mind and stuff, and it created like this psychic being called Onslaught, which is apparently very powerful. And it took like the remaining X-Men and the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and like all these people to stop him. Yeah, but that's the scary thing about Professor X. He has a dark side. And someone who's that powerful. Ooh. I'd hate to see an alternate timeline. Like I just mentioned the Age of Apocalypse timeline, where he's killed by his own son in front of Magneto, and Magneto's like, oh, I'm now going to dedicate the rest of my life to like forming the X-Men and being somewhat peaceful when I can. Can you imagine a world where that's reversed somehow?
Fuel at 1/2 capacity.
Where like a human goes back in time somehow and kills his friend Magneto, and Xavier's like, you know what? Humans do suck. And he becomes like the dictator ruler of the earth or something. That I'm sure it exists. If I had to think of like one X-Men that going bad would be very bad, it's probably him. Or Storm. I don't even know. That's some old stuff. But yeah, just like everybody, he has a dark side. And being the most powerful psychic, like, on Earth, maybe even the galaxy, that's super dangerous. Sorry, this part of the stream is just me talking about X-Men while I 100% all the areas, so I know I've been there. There's actually a mission here. I love dumb comic stuff. People that love comics, that have loved comics for decades, always talk about how the 90s were awful for Marvel. Like it's like the 90s time of Marvel and X-Men especially storylines were just dumb. Onslaught, for instance, or the Clone Saga in Spider-Man. Thing is, I got into comic stuff in the 90s, so yeah. I didn't think it was that bad. But also, who was the artist that did all that stuff? Who was the artist that was like well known for, was it Spawn? And just like making the Marvel characters that are like super weird looking and just like edgy and like dark and cool looking. I think it might have been the guy who made Spawn. Yeah, 90s had a lot of that. Not just on Marvel's side. DC had some of that stuff too. Like, I remember in the 90s, Lobo had his own comic series. I don't know when that character was made, but just the art style of it was just very 90s. No, I'm thinking of, yeah, Todd McFarlane. I could be wrong. I just remember, watching a video where this was like in the early 90s, I think, where Stan Lee was watching two artists from Marvel attempt to draw a new character for a comic series. And as they're drawing him, they're making him, again, super edgy and super 90s and just ridiculous. Like, you know how we make fun of like Kingdom Hearts for how many zippers Sora has? Or like JRPGs for how many belts a character has? It's like that. And the whole time, Stan Lee is just making fun of them. He's just like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this? Why would he be wearing that? It looks so uncomfortable. Like, it's not like... It was really funny. I believe Todd McFarlane was in that video along with one or two others. And it was really funny to just watch Stan Lee like tear them apart with this like edgy 90s style of just like, what am I looking at? He has like a 16 pack. I can appreciate that because it's also like practicality. Sometimes when you see superhero designs, especially their suits, it does not look practical at all. How do they move in that? I mean, the Marvel actors will tell you that. They'll be like, yeah, I could barely move in that thing. It's just not practical.
I have detected an anomaly.
Ah. Yep.
Ship detected in orbit. All units report to ready stations for possible anti-invasion.
I have found something.
Yeah, I believe that Scarlett Johansson, I think it was her. It might be someone else. I'm trying to remember. It was someone who had like a skin-tight leather suit in the MCU. And I believe it was her. And she said that it was like in the Avengers, it was so hot. And because it's made of like rubber, it doesn't breathe at all. So the fact was, it's like after every action scene, it's just like, cool, now I have a suit full of sweat. It's like I worked a job where I was outside, but I was doing food service and I had to wear latex gloves and they were a little tight on me. And I sweat so much out there that I didn't notice that when I had my hands at my side standing there with gloves on, my hands were just sweating. And I get to a point where I had to like tip my hand over and pull the latex glove so sweat would just like pour out of it. That, but a whole suit. Oh, nope, that was me. I'm trying to remember who else mentioned in the MCU their suit was just ridiculous. Who was the one who had to have... Oh, it was Vision. Vision had an entire bodysuit on. And apparently in Age of Ultron, they had to, like, pump either, like, really cold water or, like, liquid nitrogen through, like, a piping system to cool down his body. Because the combination of the bodysuit and, like, the paint on his face and everything, it just sealed in all the heat. He couldn't sweat. So I'm pretty sure that thing had, like, it either had it built into the suit or they had to, like, shove it in there. But it was like a pipe system. Kind of like a cooler on a PC. Like, that's gotta be just miserable. Ugh. Oh, hey, Bugs. Or like the fact that Michael Dorn, who plays Worf in Next Generation, he had to be in the makeup suit, in the makeup chair, like 6 hours before anybody else. Every time they would get ready for a shoot that day, he had to be in so early compared to everybody else. Now, I think that after the show kept going, like season after season, they might have made it easier. Like more modular, like think of like having like in like separate pieces rather than have to just do it all from scratch. But I remember like in the earlier seasons, he said that it just took forever. He was just like, it was so annoying. I can see that. I'm sure. What is the actor's name who played Vision? Paul starts with the B, I think. I'm sure that was miserable too. It probably took him hours to get into that thing. That was complete overkill. I don't care. Also, I don't think they don't have cryo. My ammos will stay on, but the team doesn't.
Mind over matter. Good shot.
Yeah. Okay, yes, the Mystique suit. That is a big reason why I think I can't remember her name. Did not want to be Mystique anymore because the suit was just awful. It was like full body paint and like pieces of rubber. It wasn't like a full suit. It took forever. From what I understand, well, that's from the 90s ones. I'm talking about the newer ones. I'm sure it's the same problem. But there's a reason why Mystique doesn't look that good in, I believe, Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. I never saw the Phoenix one. And it's because I'm pretty sure she only came back to the role, Jennifer Lawrence. She only came back to the role because they agreed to make the suit less painful. Instead of being like just body painted, just wearing nothing, and then body painted and latex put all over you, forming some kind of weird bodysuit that's like not even connected to each other, held together by stuff. I believe she was like, I will come back and do the role for the next movies if you make it a suit. And apparently they did. It doesn't look as good. You can kind of tell it's like a big piece suit and doesn't look as good, but apparently it saved a lot of time and was way more comfortable. So I'm fine with that. As someone who's watching the movie, if they're like, hey, we can force this actress to go through like 8 hours of makeup every day for this role, or we can give her a suit that looks like not as good, but it shaves off like 80% of that time and it's also more comfortable, I'm like, that's fine. I don't honestly think that time is probably worth the effort, especially for that person. Like, it's fine. What? Wait a minute. Are you saying the actress who plays number 1 in Strange New Worlds played Mystique in the 90s movies in like early 2000s? I did not even notice. There's a scene in X-Men First Class where Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique turns into that actress. It's like a callback to the actress who played Mystique in the original X-Men movies. So I've seen what she looks like out of the makeup, and I guess I didn't notice because I've seen Strange New Worlds. Oh. Well, to be fair to me, I believe that she had blonde hair in that scene in X-Men. And as number one in Strange New Worlds, I believe she has like kind of like a dark brown color. So that probably would have thrown me off. Plus, it's been a long time since I've seen First Class. I like Strange New Worlds. I think it's a good combination of like old school Star Trek and I'd almost say humor. I mean, it has its obvious dark moments, but I kind of like the comedy, the amount of comedy that's in Strange New Worlds. Like the singing episode. I unironically like the singing episode, okay? Especially the Klingons. Oh, you were already dead. Eh, whatever. Oh, what's The Last Stand? I have never heard of that. What are you talking about? There was only 2 X-Men movies. You know, I didn't see Last Stand until like a decade after it came out. I just didn't want to watch it. Because I went into that movie with such low expectations, I kind of liked it. Only because I expected it to be terrible. Good job, Miranda. Good. Interesting physics. That was such overkill. I mean, it's an X-Men movie, it's pretty bad. But I went into it with 0 expectations. I knew it was terrible. And at least it had some scenes in it where I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. Same thing with Justice League. I heard Justice League was god-awful. And I went into that movie with such low expectations. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But, again, probably because I expected it to be terrible.
Affirmative. Got it.
I'm trying to think, has there ever been a game or a movie or a TV show that I know is bad? Like, really bad. But I watched it or played it years later, knowing how bad it was. Everyone said it was bad. The reviews were terrible. And I was still disappointed somehow. I don't think that's ever happened. Where like something was so bad, even going into it knowing that, I still did not like it. Like I was still like, wow, this somehow was worse than I thought it would be. I don't think that's ever happened. I'm trying to think of like any example. I think a game would happen before like a movie or a TV show. Game that's really bad. I played it. I don't think it's ever happened.
Here we go. Right behind you.
I mean, even something like Star Trek Enterprise. I always heard Star Trek Enterprise was awful. But I went into it with low expectations. I kind of like it. Like, there's a lot of episodes throughout that series I like. And then the Xindi arc for season 3, I thought was pretty good. And just because I'm comparing it to the other first seasons, I honestly think the first season of Enterprise is one of the better first seasons of Star Trek. I like it better than Next Generation and Voyager. That doesn't really mean much, but I just think that Enterprise somehow escaped the terrible first season of Star Trek. Strange New Worlds, I think, also did that. Lower Decks also did that. But that's kind of a different show. I missed that. That's terrible.
I've lost contact. One less.
Ow.
Incineration ready.
We've been spotted.
Got it.
What do you think you're doing?
This will bring them down.
Oh, you're all that's left? Oh no.
Report in.
There. This will put them down.
Ah. I've never heard what they rejected. Look, I kind of respect them for trying something different, rather than it being a symphony, like symphonic masterpiece. I kind of respect that they tried to do something different. Like I said, I knew that show was bad going into it. I'd always heard it was bad, so the theme wouldn't have fazed me at all. I was pleasantly surprised by the show, though. I thought it was this sounds weird to say. I thought it was more better than bad, if that makes sense. There's more good than bad. Thought it was fine.
Messages for you, Commander.
Before I started watching Stargate Universe, I heard it was bad. So again, I went into it and I was like, this isn't that bad. I never actually saw the ending. Universe got canceled after 2 seasons. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but it doesn't really end on a definitive end either. So I really didn't want to watch it. Whenever I know a show ends like that, I don't want to see it. Or at the very least, I don't want to finish it. I cannot stand when a show ends like that. I don't want to even watch it. If you told me right now, hey, there's this amazing sci-fi show that you have to watch. It's so good. It lasted like 3 seasons. It's an amazing show. Every episode is awesome. However, it ends on a cliffhanger because the show got canceled for some reason. I would not watch it. I don't want another show like that. I already have plenty of those. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, like I said, I refuse to watch Firefly. I know Firefly is only 10 episodes. But I refuse to watch it because I'd probably like it, and I don't want to like it because I know it only lasts, that many episodes.
Probe away. I have found something.
Hold on. I will take that.
Launching probe.
Ooh.
Probe launched.
You know what Star Trek show I thought about rewatching lately? I keep saying I want to rewatch SQ1. I will. I just don't want to rush into that. I like to just watch it every 5 years or so. Star Trek Voyager. I have not rewatched Voyager in quite some time. It was my very first Star Trek. So I'll always like it for that. When I say rewatch Voyager, I do not mean every single episode. When I look at the episodes, I watch, you know how you can look up for anime, for example, you can look up what episodes should I watch of this anime that aren't filler? What episodes can you skip and not really lose out on anything? It's like that. I go through Voyager and I'm like, yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes. I know what the episodes are. I've seen them so many times. I know what they're about. And there are some that I just skip. I skip most of season 1 because it's not great. And I skip like half of season 2. And as I get further in, I usually skip less and less. Like season 4 and 5, I hardly skip any. 6, there's a few, and 7, there's a few. That's what I mean by rewatch. I don't rewatch the entire thing. Just like the ones that matter to like any main plot points, the ones that kind of push the story further. Some of those one-off episodes just do nothing and they're not that good. So it's like, I know what they're about. I don't feel the need to ever watch them again. SG-1 has some of those too.
The fog on a planet's surface is interfering with
I know what they're about. They're kind of whatever. I don't have to watch it again.
The nearby beacon towers may serve as a navigational contingency.
Best example I can think of. It's a season 1 episode, true. But Deep Space Nine, the one with the stupid board game. You only have to watch that episode once, and you will never have to watch it again. You should watch it once.
Wow. What happened here?
That is a notorious episode. I remember watching a clip from a convention years ago where, what is his name? Avery Brooks, who plays Cisco. He was there with other captains. Some other captains were there too. And someone in the audience was like, what is like, hey captains, what is all your least favorite episodes? And they were going through the list and it's like, yeah, this sucked. This wasn't very good. And when it got to him, he was like, he didn't even say the name of the episode. I believe he just started singing the stupid song from it. And people were just like, yeah, we know what that is.
Be careful. This atmosphere is toxic.
Enemies in front.
Oh, it's these things here. Okay. All right. I like Deep Space Nine. It's just different. Every Star Trek's a little different. Next Generation has that whole diplomacy thing going. You know, you're in the Alpha Quadrant, you're at Earth, you're kind of at the center of the politics of everybody. And you go into politics, diplomacy. Then Voyager is all about like being lost in the Delta Quadrant, so it's like all different. They have no backup. It's far less politics and more action and science. And then Deep Space Nine, there's some definite politics in there, but it's more like specific politics between like the Cardassians, the Bajorans. It goes into the spiritualistic stuff that most Star Treks don't go into. You know, the prophets. And it's almost more like a serial episode than in the others, because it's like constant. Once you get to season 3, it feels like just one giant season of shows almost. Especially with the Dominion stuff. It's just like a very ongoing plot point through like several seasons, and I kind of like that. Oh, I don't remember how the song goes. I think I just blocked it from my memory. It's like this dumb Jumanji kind of thing where they get sucked into a board game to like teach Quark a lesson about cheating or something. It's weird. It's really weird. I think Deep Space Nine Season 1 is the best first season of those Star Treks, like those 3 that were around the same time period, the 90s. But I will still skip like half of it when I rewatch the series.
Watch out!
Watch out. And explode. And explode. There we go. It's just, I don't remember the words. It's like da 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 something by two. Da, da, I don't remember it. Honestly, there is one good thing about the episode. You can tell that Avery Brooks does not like it. So when he when the person in the board game is like, you have to do this stupid hopscotch thing, but you also have to sing the stupid song while you do it. And his demeanor changes. You know, he doesn't stay serious and do it because he has to. He all of a sudden just becomes a goofball. He has like this big smile on his face and he just does it. You can tell he's like playing around with it. Like, this is so stupid. I'm gonna make it look stupid. Yeah. Now don't get me wrong. I mean, later they did explore. I mean, later in the series, they had a ship, and quite a few episodes of that show were not on the station.
What were they doing here?
But yeah, I think it was a good idea. It was different. Remember, Deep Space Nine overlapped with Voyager. So having two different kind of Star Trek shows was fun. You had the show who was like buried deep in the like military politics of the Alpha Quadrant with the Dominion. And then you had that show where none of that exists and it's about survival by yourself kind of thing. Like, I like the difference in it. I believe, I could be wrong on this, I believe Deep Space Nine overlaps Next Generation Season 7. And I think Voyager's first season overlaps Deep Space Nine's second season, and it goes from there. All the shows lasted 7 seasons. So I believe until Picard came out, Voyager Season 7 was the furthest into the timeline we ever saw. Barring any, like, future timelines that no longer exist, probably. Which really didn't matter, because since they were in the Delta Quadrant the whole time, it didn't really matter. Because we didn't get to see any of the Alpha Quadrant stuff. By the time Voyager gets home, the Dominion War has been over for a year, but we don't get to see the aftermath of that. And it's never mentioned. The Voyager is able to talk to the Alpha Quadrant a little bit, sometimes, through like wormholes and stuff, and the Dominion War is never mentioned. You would think that Starfleet would fill Captain Janeway in, like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like this big war going on. Where are my teammates?
Right behind you. Sure thing.
You were not right behind me. There you are. Well, yeah, also, again, this is kind of a spoiler for the finale of Voyager a little bit, but it's, you know, there is a future timeline that you see in the finale of Voyager that no longer exists. So, like I said, sometimes you do see the future beyond that point, but then it's retconned out of existence because of time travel. I think Picard was okay. It was fine. I think it got better as it went. That first season was a little rough. I like the third season. Yeah, it's fan service. It's just the Next Generation Season 8 almost. But I like it for that reason. It's like the Citadel DLC in Mass Effect 3. It's nothing but fan service. And I don't care. Oh, there's a fight up here, isn't there? I think there's a tough fight up here. with at least one Krogan Warlord guy. It's either this mission, or if there's one after this. Because I believe this is a chain of missions with the blood pack stuff. Well, what are these things? Wait for it. Yay! It's like the grunt birthday party skull. Oh, speaking of Halo, I played some Halo Wars 1 last night with 2 people. I love that game. That's one of those games I can play over and over again. As I've said before, my favorite Halo game is Halo Wars. Which I'd assume is a weird pick. I mean, not all the time, but a good bit of the time, I tend to pick, like, the weird one of the group of a series to like. So, maybe it just comes from the fact that my very first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy VIII, which we could make an argument. If I were to ask anyone in chat who's played a lot of Final Fantasy games, in your opinion, what is the weirdest Final Fantasy for someone to start with? 8 is very high on that list. Especially at a time where 9 had just come out. When I first played 8, I believe 9 had just come out. Or came out while I was playing it. So like 1 through 9, I think it's no contest. 5 is weird with its class system, but I'll be honest, I think 1 through 9, 8 is by far the weirdest. It has a junction system that no other game has, and ever has had since. It has the ability to break the game with it. It has the GFs and the junction system, which dictates your stats. You have the draw magic system, which again is not in any other Final Fantasy game. 8, I think, is the weirdest one I could have started with. You can make an argument for 13 or 15, but those didn't exist when I played 8, so. Uh-huh. I heard that. Uh-huh. Poor Vorcha.
Get ready.
Oh! The Krogan, like, shield took the hit there a little bit. Come on.
Here goes.
Yay, Miranda's dead.
Come out and fight.
Ooh, that did some good armor damage. Oh no, he's cold.
Come out and fight.
On it.
Ow. Gotcha. But yeah, 5 is also weird. If I had to pick the games in order from weirdest to like start with, 8 is at the top. And then probably, I'd say 7 or 5. Or 3. 3 and 5 do have the class system, which is different. But 7 is weird in terms of its setting. 8 is also weird. 7 and 8 are the only ones in between 1 and 9 that are set like in a weird alternate present. Whereas all the other games are fantasy. 7 also has that, but 7 is definitely more conventional with its active time bar system and materia. It's very similar to 6 with that. No, 6 is the one with the clown. Honestly, I think 6 is a decent one to start with. The Esper system is very similar to Materia. It's a simple system, but it works. And it's two-dimensional, it's sprites, great music, fantasy setting, but still has like a steampunk kind of thing to it. I mean, the easiest answer to that question, the easiest one to start with between 1 and 9 is 4. I think 4 is just a much better version of 1. I think 4 is just a really, really good starting point in between those games. If we're talking about the entire series, honestly, 10 is a pretty decent start to the series. Yes, the sphere grid only exists in 10, but it is turn-based. Not even active time bar. It's turn-based. And it's very forgiving in some categories. Like, you can switch out your party members whenever you want. You have the summons. I think 10 is not a bad place to start. Now, if I had to think of which ones are the worst place to start, again, 8, 13, 15, probably 12 as well. 12 kind of plays weird. If 12 was your first Final Fantasy, you're going to be in for a surprise when you play the others. I like 12, though. 12 is long. It's a long game. I was going to make a joke that if your first Final Fantasy was Mystic Quest, that's also going to be really weird. Honestly, I think Mystic Quest is a better starting point than 8 is, because 8 is just weird all around. Mystic Quest is just super easy mode. It's still turn-based. It still has like an overworld kind of thing. It has a lot of similarities. I just think 8 has the most different mechanics to it. And that was my first one. And the odd thing is, I played 7 after that. I mean, I believe I played 1 after that, and then it kind of gets blurry. 9, 4, 6, they're all in there. I'm kind of surprised I got hooked on the series when 8 was my first one. It's like, hey, where's the junction system? Where's the weird alternate present with the cars and stuff? Where's the whatever? It's I don't know.
We have used half our fuel.
There are some benefits to having 8 be my first one. 8 has one of the best soundtracks in the entire series. Also, Triple Triad. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, 9 is also good. 9 and 4 are great if you want to start with the 16-bit older style game and go from there, because you don't want to like end on that. You want to start with like something that looks more primitive. Then 4 is your best bet. If you want to start in the golden age with PlayStation and don't really like the old school 16-bit stuff, 9 is a good place to start. I know I've already been here, but I'm going against my previous statement where I'm leaving planets undiscovered. Yep. Had to sneeze. 9 also has a reason I could argue that 9 isn't good to start with is 9 has a lot of callbacks to some of the old Final Fantasies, and if you haven't played them, you won't get them. Not the end of the world. It's similar to what I've heard from SWTOR. In SWTOR's story, all of the character origins happen. It's like Mass Effect. All the Mass Effect origins happen, it's just which one is Shepard at. In SWTOR, all the characters apparently exist. Like, they all happen. And the Imperial Agent is the one that has the most, like, callbacks and links to the other character origins and stories. So if you play it first, you won't get them. Play it last, you will. I've also been told that is the best origin by far. And playing it light side and dark side is a big difference in that one especially. So I had the idea of playing light side agent first, and then play all the other characters, and then play dark side. Or reversed, either way. It will be pro for science purposes? Well, yeah. I mean, Shepard might be an Alliance Marine, but we're also a scientist, kind of. Oh, Remden, I'm sad that, Sen didn't get her shiny on her birthday. We did, like, 12 runs. They did, like, 12 runs total, and I was on, like, half of them. For a shiny Giratina, or just something, and didn't get a single one. Somebody did. Somebody that was with us got a shiny, Alchemy. See, I was streaming while the bet happened. I would have 100% bet no. I would have gotten a lot of channel points out of that. Because I definitely would have bet no. Because I know the misleading odds of Dynamax Adventures. I don't care how good it sounds on paper. It's still 1%. It's like, oh, you can the shiny chance of Dynamax Adventures only 1 out of 100. That's so much better than the normal shiny odds anywhere else. It's still 1%. And then you do that stupid statistics thing where you're like, yeah, but you catch 4 Pokemon. If you catch 4 Pokemon and the odds of each one being shiny is 1 out of 100, that means it's like 4 out of 100. Like, that's not how that works. Like, each Pokemon has a chance of being shiny by 1%. And if you're catching 4 Pokemon, it's like, oh, that increases the odds that one of them will be. I mean, yes and no. It's still 1% per Pokemon. Plus, 99 times out of 100, you want the legendary to be shiny, not the random ones you catch along the way. So, who cares about the others? Like, when I helped her run them the first time she did it, like a couple days before that, I got a shiny. A shiny Palpitoad. Yay. I win. Shiny Palpitoad. Not even a good shiny. I, just like a lot of things, I have very random luck with shinies. How do I put this? I've had times where I went after a shiny for so long and just couldn't get it. Just over and over and over and over. And it's just like, it's not happening. But I've also had times where I got one almost immediately. Good example. When I was bringing Pokemon over from Pokemon X and Y to Pokemon Bank to then Pokemon Home, I was on my Pokemon Y copy. I needed 3 Chespins. I knew I was going to need them for the living decks. And I needed 3 Chespins. 1 for Chespin, 1 for Quilladin, and 1 for Chestnut. I bred 3 of them. Just 3. And 1 of them was shiny. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, did I have a shiny Palpitoad before? No. So it was a new shiny. I've always preferred hatching my shinies. That way they're level 1, and when I hatch for shinies, I will go out of my way to make them good. I'll give them the proper like hidden ability. I'll give them good IVs. I'll give them the proper nature with like an Everstone or something. That's why I prefer doing it. Because I'll end up with a shiny that has like a good chance of having the hidden ability, good IVs, maybe not perfect, but still good. Dynamax Adventure to me is only good for shiny hunting legendaries. Speaking of which, my main file on Sword, or I have Shield. My main file on Shield, do you know how many legendaries I've caught in Dynamax Adventures DLC? 1. Because it was the only one I found shiny. I have purposely not caught anything besides that because I want to shiny hunt them. I just haven't done it in a while. Plus, Zygarde and Kyogre and Groudon are such pains. They're such pains to fight, especially with AI. It's almost impossible. Because you need Wide Guard. In order to beat those 3, you need Wide Guard. And the AI is dumb. They won't even pick the Pokemon with Wide Guard, and when they do, they don't use it when they're supposed to. So if I were to actually attempt to shiny hunt Pokemon in Dynamax Adventures with people, I would 100% go after those 3. Because any other ones besides those 3, you can kill with AI. It sucks, it's not guaranteed. But you don't have to have a special strategy. You don't need Wide Guard. And because if the reason why is all 3 of those Pokemon have moves that hit your entire team. And because AI is dumb, they tend to have crappy Pokemon. So when you go into a fight, they'll just die over and over again to those AoE moves, and then you lose. Wide Guard makes those fights almost unlosable. Right? Like, with Wide Guard, you almost can't lose. Zygarde especially. I remember Zygarde being like, if you have Wide Guard, you win. Kyogre, I think I still lost sometimes with Wide Guard because he just hits so hard with some things still. Unless you have Wide Guard and like Sunny Day or something, like to get rid of the, like, it's just, it hurts a lot. Not Wide Guard, Wide Guard. It protects your entire team from AoE moves. So stuff like Surf. And the reason why those 3 are so dangerous is because they all have AoE stab moves. Precipice Blades, whatever Zygarde's thing is, and Surf. And it hits really hard. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We have no fuel. An emergency FTL jump is
I never run out of fuel in this game. That's funny. When you run out of fuel, it just takes some of your raw resources. It's fine. Well, it's only good for those fights. Last night, we had an AI on our team, and it was a Mantine, and it kept using Wide Guard constantly for no reason. Of course, the one time we get an AI that spams Wide Guard, we're not fighting something that needs it. I have tried Zygarde a lot with other people with Wide Guard, could not get it shiny. I've also tried it solo. It just doesn't work. If I bring Wide Guard, if I'm lucky enough to find it, my team is just too stupid. Like, the AI is just too dumb. They won't kill him fast enough. Because I'm stuck using Wide Guard constantly. Another reason why it's good to farm it with people, the way Dynamax Adventures works, every time you do a route for a legendary Pokemon, it's random. It randomizes it. Except when it doesn't. There are people that will find a good route and they'll save it and they'll host it over and over and over again. What you do is, as the host, you host it, the good one you found. Let's say you found a good one. One that has a Y-Guard Pokemon right at the beginning. You can choose one that has it. And there's a really good easy route. You don't have to worry about deaths. Super simple. When you get to the end, you disconnect. And it saves the route. And then when you host it for somebody, 3 other people, let's say. You go through it. They catch their Zygarde. If it's not shiny, they don't take it like always. The host has to quit. Now, if they get the shiny, that's up to them. If they want to take the shiny and screw everyone else over, they can. Kind of like an unwritten rule, though. It's like, do we let them have the shiny? And yeah, we probably should. But you host it, and then when you're done, you disconnect. Oh, you got Rambo Garrus. Yeah. Good job, Jolie. You got Rambo Garrus. But you reset it to where you keep it. The only downside to doing this is whenever you disconnect from the fight. First off, you can't finish the fight, by the way. That's why you can never know if it's shiny or not. I forgot about that. You have to disconnect from the fight. You can help a little bit, like a couple attacks and stuff, but you want to make sure you're not the one with wide guard because you have to leave before the fight's over. That's why you'll never know if it's shiny or not on your end. You leave, the other 3 people stay, they finish the fight with an AI controlling their Pokemon. Then if it's shiny, cool, catch it, keep it. The only downside is when you do that, you lose. Remember those items you get when you do successful runs? That stone, I forget what it's called. You get a penalty. The first time you disconnect, it's free, I think. The second time, it's like 5. Once you start disconnecting over and over, you have to pay a penalty of, like, I think it's called Dynamax Ore, over and over again. So if you're going to host a really good route for people, you have to make sure you have a ton of that ore first. Otherwise, you might lose the route if you run something else. That's how it works. Sometimes people are nice enough to find a super good route for something and then just host it. I used to be in the server for Dynamax Adventures, but it kind of died because, well, it got old. It was out for a while. Other downside is if you host it, you can't get the shiny yourself. So chances of me getting a shiny Zygarde, a shiny Kyogre, or shiny Groudon from that the chances are very low. Unless I host something on stream in the future at some point and we get more people. But again, without wide guard, you don't stand much of a chance. %. All right, let's see what's here. Enoch. Isn't that from the Bible? I think I remember this exact conversation in someone else's stream that I watched of Mass Effect 2. I believe they mentioned that Enoch was from the Bible. Yeah, Job. Email is from the Bible. Did you know that? Jesus@gmail.com. Enoch is from I believe Enoch is the one who didn't die. He got lifted to heaven and never died. I think that's what they said. I am not a Bible person. I just remember the stream. Now, if all of these are from the Bible, I don't know. Mizraim, I don't know. Laban, I don't know. Job, I know. What's this one? Goliath. Well, okay. That one's... That's not from the Bible. That's from the Gargoyle show. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, isn't this Help Jacob World? I think it is. I mean, yeah, Goliath is from the Bible, but it's also from a lot of other things. It's a good name to use for something just big. Job, I don't remember exact things, but I know that name. The other ones, I don't know.
Fuel at 1/2 capacity.
It makes sense that if humanity discovered some planets out there, we would name them after stuff in the Bible, right? It's celestial bodies. It just makes sense. Depending on who finds them, though, I guess. Like, this area is Bible stuff. Other areas, like Norse. You have, like, Thor and Loki. The Far Rim. That's Star Wars. Or is that Outer Rim? I think I've heard Far Rim, too. You know the creepy thing about Star Wars space? I don't know if this is still canon. From what I remember, there actually is an edge of the galaxy. Or universe, whatever. And apparently it's still growing. But there's like a place you can go where you can get to like the edge of space and just look at the nothingness. I don't know if that's still canon. But I remember in the comics or something, you could actually get to the edge of the galaxy and just see nothing. That'd be kind of unnerving a little bit. Yeah, there was also a thing where some character, I forget who, again, this is very vague because I don't remember, some character went insane because they got to the edge of the galaxy and just looked at it. And just the nothingness, the emptiness. And it just caused them to have some problems. Reminds me of the episode of Voyager. Season 5, Episode 1. The Void. They go through an area of space that has nothing. No stars, no planets, no nebulas, nothing. It's just black. And some people didn't like that. Because it'd be so weird. It's like, the fact there's nothing wouldn't really bother me that much. It's empty. So what? Space is empty. A lot of it is. The thing that would bother me would be it doesn't look like we're moving. Like, if you look out a window and it's like, are we moving? It looks like we're sitting still. Like, there's no, when you do space travel stuff, it's like, oh, planet, star. It's just like you see things fly by at that speed and it's like, hey, we're in space. Going that fast with nothing around you, it's like, are we even moving? It looks like that would bother me.
Anomaly detected.
Yeah, I'm not doing that right now. I am just 100%ing all the areas so I know I got all the side quests. Any area that still has 100%, or any area that still has a mission, is flagged on the overworld so I know where it is. 100%, that's 0. I can't even see this one. 0, okay. Whose? Named after his... whose? This is the problem with me talking so much. I don't remember. I know Jupiter's moons, the main ones, like the Galilean ones. Callisto, Io, Europa, and Ganymede. Do I remember what those are in mythology? No. My best guess? Were they some of the humans that Zeus had affairs with and were turned into animals? That would be my best guess. I used to love Greek mythology. I just found it interesting as a kid. Thing is, I was more into Greek than Roman, even though it's very similar, but it always threw me off that in astronomy, we use Roman names for our planets, not Greek. Like Venus instead of Aphrodite, Mercury instead of Hermes. Earth is already a weird one. You could say Gaia, or a Norse Midgard. Mars instead of Ares. Jupiter instead of Zeus. Saturn instead of Kronos. For some reason, we named one of the planets after a Titan. Uranus. That one I don't remember. Neptune is Poseidon. Pluto is Hades. I do not remember Uranus. I don't remember. Is that another Titan? Or is that one like Earth and it's just weird? I don't remember. Oh, there's no planet Bacchus instead of Dionysus. Or, oh, Athena. Athena's Greek. What's Athena's Roman name? That I don't know. I feel like most gods in Greek have like a Roman counterpart. Who's Athena in Roman? Huh. So maybe it's just Athena. Maybe it's the same in both. Or Demeter. Minerva. Okay. What about Demeter? Or Artemis? Those are both Greek. I cannot tell you the Roman equivalent. There might not be one. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like one or two that are just like don't exist.
Anomaly detected.
Wait, I just heard anomaly detected, then I left. Oh, it's because it's Firewalker. That's why. What about Demeter is Ceres. Artemis is Diana. Interesting. Can I assume that Wonder Woman is named after Artemis / Diana? Although, interesting. That's a mix of stuff. In the DC universe, I believe, yeah, they're Greek. Because Ares is a character, and so is Hades. And they're both Greek. But Diana is the Roman name of Artemis. Weird how they went with that. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we're not going there yet. Go get some gas. I might not be able to make that. I believe Ceres is also... Is that an asteroid? don't remember. Is that like a big known asteroid? Hmm. I mean, there's Phobos and Deimos, the moons of Mars. I forget who they are. Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I remember from Ceres Station. I'm pretty sure it's like a hollowed-out asteroid. Like a big, well-known asteroid. But Phobos and Deimos, I think they were brothers, but that's all I remember. Also, isn't it kind of assumed that Mars's moons are just asteroids that got caught in its orbit? Because they're very weird shaped. They're not like our moon, where it's just like small planet. They're very weird. They look like asteroids. Oh. Do, 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 do. Nothing. Yeah, it's in the asteroid belt. Hence, it's a system for, it's a station for belters. You know, belt. I miss The Expanse. I don't have Amazon Prime anymore, so I can't rewatch it. I like that show.
An anomaly.
Welcome to it. Repeat, there's a piece of crab neck on this planet's surface.
Oh, it's this one.
I have found something.
Oh, this one's annoying. There's like 3 Varen on the planet, and the rest of it's just walk. Boo.
I am detecting a large supply of resources buried deep within the canyon walls. Heavy explosives will be required to excavate them.
Top. Circle, top. Circle, door, candy. Yeah. Now, I need to find the power sources. Here is one. Wow, what a good animation that was. Will that hurt me? No, it won't hurt me. Hey, what are you looking at? Go on. I want to say this was a Legendary Edition change, where this mech is supposed to be defective. In the original, it just walked. But in this one, they added the effect of like he turns around and just shoots the wall. That does make it seem more defective. All right, where is the power source? A new Dune show? I know nothing about Dune. I have never read the books. I have never seen the movies, old or new. I've thought about it. It is something I probably like.
We've been spotted.
No, I haven't really been a movie person in a while. For the longest time, I only ever really went to go see MCU movies and Star Wars. Star Wars has been done for a while, in the theater anyway. And MCU, I haven't seen like the last 3 or 4 MCU movies. Well, the only streaming service I have right now is Hulu. And I only have it for only 1 more month. And then I lose it. And then I'll pretty much be stuck to just YouTube and Twitch for a while. Did I miss a power thing? I feel like there should have been one. Yep. There should have been one closer. There's so many things I have to watch, though. I want to rewatch SG-1. I want to rewatch Voyager. I still want to watch the 80s Ninja Turtles animated cartoon. I grew up watching it, but I think I only watched like 15% of it, if that, because it lasted 10 seasons. At some point, I want to watch it. I have it on DVD. Like, at some point in my life, I want to watch it. To see what episodes I missed when I was a kid. And just... I had a similar thing for Power Rangers. I wanted to watch, like, Mighty Morphin up to In Space. That one's a little tougher, though. Man, Power Rangers doesn't age that well. I've seen some old episodes of Mighty Morphin. It's a little rough. But Ninja Turtles, I don't know. Like, that's kind of like a... I feel like that aged a little better in terms of just its goofiness and jokes. And the Power Rangers, it's more like the acting and the budget. You gonna...
Target locked.
Gonna shoot? Oh no, friend! Oh yeah, you do this entire mission, and all you get is just this. Yay! 5,000 platinum, which I already had a lot of. I do get experience, though. And some money. I will take the experience and money. Meow. Oh, there's a moon. You know what that means. Whenever this game... Surtur. Isn't that like... Satan? Isn't Surtur like... I forget what mythology that is. But I'm pretty sure Surtur is like Satan in something. I can't place where it comes from, though.
Anomaly detected.
Magnetic shielding failure detected.
Launching probe. I have found something.
I believe this is a solo mission. Yeah. All right. What do we do first? I never remember. All right, we have circle top door, circle top candy, top candy candy. Yeah, I remember Surtur being something else though in like in a mythology. I just don't remember what. Also, isn't Surtur also in SG-1 in the earlier seasons? Is it Surtur? Like, I forget the name. It's the Gold Lord that runs like the prison, that fire prison. I never remember which one to do first. Okay. And this one. No. We have candy. We have top door. Yeah. Yeah, Surtur is a character in Ragnarok, the movie. Yeah. Not all the Goa'uld were based on Egyptian mythology. There's other stuff mixed in there too. Am I going to be... you know what? Just to make sure.
Fuel reserves at 50%.
I'm trying to think of other Goa'uld names that are, like, not Egyptian. Baal. Is Baal Egyptian? What is Baal from? Isn't it? I don't know, man. It's been so long since I've gone over stuff like that. I don't remember. I'm pulling information from a show, but also trying to pull information to match it with information from when I was like 10. I don't know. There's only so much space in my brain. I like how the only ones I can think of off the top of my head are Egyptian. Like Osiris, Isis, Ra, Set. Oh yeah, Ares. Yeah. What am I missing here? Is there one further out here I'm not seeing? Yeah, there it is. I saw that name and thought Tamagotchi for a second. Morrigan? There's a Morrigan? I don't remember that. I remember Morgan Le Fay, which was when they got to the season 9 and 10 Ori stuff with King Arthur stuff, but who was an ancient, I believe. And then of course the Asgard use all the Norse stuff. You know, hence the name Asgard. I can only remember 3 Asgard names: Thor, Freya, and Loki. I know there's more. Wait, well, hold on. Kobayashi. Is that spelled the same? Star Trek reference?
Anomaly detected.
The test that no one ever solved except for Kurt because he cheated, which is funny. I never saw that episode / movie. Like, I don't remember when that's referenced. Although he was in the academy then, so that would have been like a prequel thing. Probably just a story. I have not seen the original series. I have not seen any of the movies based on the original series. I just know that I'm pretty sure I remember him cheating through it. Which, I mean, thinking outside the box. All right, we're almost done. I just want to get all these places 100%. Any missions that are left, I will do later. And they're tagged. Sends a slave of use to kill us. Oh yeah. That's the summit. As I said, I hardly ever remember names of episodes, but for some reason Voyager and Stargate SG-1 are two that I remember some names of episodes. It's a two-parter. Wait, hold on. Did not do that. Yam. Just Yam. It's literally just called Yam. Planet Yam. And Tefnut. Who named these? Whoa. Look at this big sun. And that's it. See, the downside to having the Stellaris mod installed is if I wanted to do a different mod, I have to like uninstall it and roll back or go forward, whichever version I need. But I want to try the Stargate one. It's a full overhaul mod that like adds all the Stargate stuff. I believe it actually even adds a mechanic where you can develop planets through Stargates. Like you can take Stargates you find and like go to different planets and colonize them through Stargates, not ships, which makes perfect sense in the world of SG-1. Because until like season 5 or 6, humans really didn't have their own ship. They always had to steal one of those cargo ships. Until the Prometheus came around, and then later in Atlantis, when you had like the Apollo and the Daedalus, you had no ships. You got from planet to planet with Stargates. So colonizing through Stargates makes perfect sense. That could be fun to try on stream too. All right, I believe everywhere is 100%. Nope, 76. Why is that 76? What did I miss? But yeah, there's the Stargate one, there's the Mass Effect one that I want to mess with, maybe even later today. Oh, there's two areas and they're both like far away from each other. Oh, I'm gonna run out of fuel again, aren't I? I'm not paying attention. Sobek. That's a Vulcan name. I'm pretty sure there's a Vulcan named Sobek. Anher in the Ammon system. Fast. Sekhmet. Wait a minute. That sounds familiar too. Sekhmet definitely sounds familiar. Yeah. Is Sobek Egyptian? I'm almost positive there is a Vulcan in Star Trek named Sobek. Oh, hello, Zach Taft. Will I make it back? Will I make it back? Playing the gas game. Okay, yeah. I knew they were a Vulcan. I'm a big nerd. Yeah, isn't Sobek like evil? Or just bad? So Spock has like an evil brother. Oh, okay. Well, a Vulcan who doesn't suppress their emotions can be a problem. Like, I know people talk about how, like, oh, the suppressing emotion thing is dumb. And every time like, especially in Enterprise, humans are always like, oh, stop talking about suppressing your emotions. It's dumb. Why do you suppress something that's natural? Because in the Vulcans' case, their emotions are much stronger than humans. And so are their physical bodies. If a Vulcan loses it on a ship full of humans, that's bad. Because a Vulcan is, like, way stronger than a human. So, yeah, the Romulans are related to Vulcans. I mean, there's a difference. I'm not saying, like, it's not like, oh yeah, you suppress your emotions. No, don't do that. Lose control. No. Romulans, I guess, is what you get when it's kind of like the Sith and the Jedi, basically. The Jedi suppress their emotions while the Sith use it, but the most powerful of Sith don't lose control, like Palpatine. Palpatine used the dark side, obviously, to be powerful and gain power. But he didn't let his emotions control him. He controlled them. But the Jedi just suppressed them. So it's kind of the same thing. The Vulcans suppress their emotions for the slightly betterment of everybody. And the Romulans, I guess, embrace their emotions, but learned how to control them well enough. They don't just, you know. Well, if Vulcans are, like, super strong compared to humans, doesn't that mean Romulans are too? I don't think that's ever addressed. In Star Trek, it is 100% addressed that Vulcans are stronger physically than humans. But if Romulans are related to Vulcans, which they are, I've seen humans fight Romulans hand to hand, and they seem evenly matched. So maybe somehow when they split the species, Romulans somehow didn't get the extra strength for some reason. I mean, evolution. It might make sense that the Vulcans who embrace their emotions did not evolve super strength, because that would be bad, maybe. But how long ago did they split? Has it been so long that evolution would have been different for both of them? To where somehow Romulans didn't get super strength? That's a weird one. Weird. I've seen regular humans fight off Romulans just fine. But when they have to fight a Vulcan, it does not go well. Like, I remember Tuvok just messing people up in Voyager. Fun fact, Vulcans also have green blood. I'm gonna get this just so it's not here. And that, even though nobody on my team uses shotguns, at the very least, this could be useful for some loyalty missions. If someone like Tally, I'll have her use a shotgun, and this stuff might help. Aw. Do. All right. I think that'll do it for Mass Effect for tonight. I know I did barely any missions, but we kind of did the dirty work. Next time we can just jump into all the missions. I'm not done for the night though.